All right.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Oh,
Yeah, he always does that, and then he'll always do the .com.
He always does that. Now,
He always
here's a
does that.
question for you. Think about it while I'm doing it. Why do I say that? 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 818, the Intellion Podcast. The Go Nintendo Podcast is a part of the HyperX Podcast Network. You can see our show and other great shows at podcast.hyperx.com.
Before anyone does anything else, I just want you to know that I got an ad on GoNintendo.com for the cat butt coloring and activity book.
I mean, sounds about right.
That's pretty hot.
The only thing
And it's
not
a cat.
colored in is
It's
the
a
head.
cat on a skateboard, and the cat, his butt is very prominent, and he's wearing a backwards hat.
Beautiful.
Unfortunately,
I would buy everything that is in this ad. It's World Market.
targeted, but the only thing not colored in on that is the cat butt.
Thank you. It's a pristine. It's a pristine.
Everything but
That
the
cat
cat's
bleaches.
But Mom Brain, will you tell us about Intellion, please?
Tell us about Intellion's butt, please.
Intellion.
I would love to tell you.
Oh.
Intellion you. For some reason, I put my pinky down here. That's what I normally
do.
do.
That too.
And I don't know
She's
why.
holding the phone with her pinky, by the way.
And I thought, oh, I'm putting my finger over the speakers. No one will be able to hear me.
That's how it works.
Ooh, you got a text from your dad. Intellion, it has many hidden capabilities such as fingertips that can shoot water and a membrane on its back that it can use to glide through the air.
Hell yeah.
They are big boys at 6
Oh,
feet
yeah.
tall, 99 pounds. Their gender are male and female. Category, secret agent.
I thought
And
you'd like that.
abilities include Torrent. This ability powers up water type moves when the Pokemon's HP is low.
The last 3 have had Torrent, but next week we'll have something different. Great job, Mom Brain.
Very excited.
Topics.
No, don't you dare. That's my notes.
What's it
That's show
worth?
notes. No, now
Thank you.
he's going to read it. Oh, thank you, Nicky.
He
Hill. I
wouldn't
take
do
it back.
that.
Nicky Hill's here. How are you? How are you, my best friend?
I'm all right. Do you sing that .com because that's like the Yahoo or something? Isn't that like some commercial for a
Expedia.
website?
You're right. Yes, it's Expedia. Yeah, I don't know why that's stuck in my
I'm
head all
sorry,
these
Yahoo
years.
is Yahoo.
Yeah, I don't really think Yahoo has commercials anymore.
Does Yahoo have a
Anything?
domain anymore?
Does Yahoo
They
have?
do. Yahoo News pops up a lot, actually. I don't know. You know, it's the same as anybody else's news.
No
but-
comment. Am I right?
Hello, Tomakoto. Hello to Super Sanchez. Hello, Hiley and Tom. Hello, Roth. Hi, Dre Gamer and the Keys Effect and Rhett Souza and Nico Daruni and Anastasia Beaverhazen with another lovely entrance gift and Wolfric Chaser and who? Oh boy, why does it do that? And everybody else I didn't get to see. Thanks for joining us on this lovely weekend. Yes, Mom Brain. Hello, Burn and Cheese.
A. Beaverhausen's
Hello,
little-
Tanuki Tony.
little nod to Mrs. Doubtfire. The other day at school, I'm responsible for getting a kid out of the car line first thing in the morning. And so I'm usually the first one out to open the door for all the children. And I was late and I was like trotting and going, help is on the way, dears. But nobody got it.
That's because you're old and we're all old.
I'm gonna go ahead and just say this real quick. The ad that popped up on mine
I keep getting
is
that
a
one.
28-day fasting challenge with
Yes.
exercise and stuff. I will not be using everything in this ad.
Are you on our internet?
Yeah, but it's also because my phone probably hears me complaining about my weight and exercise.
We've
all the
talked
time.
about fasting a bit. We talked about fasting today, and now fasting ads
He
are coming up.
saw the Northman yesterday. Nicky Hill did.
Hi,
So
Freddie
that's
Pro.
why he's
the
getting
phone.
all
The
this.
phone's like, "Ooh, you want them abs?"
Hi, Freddie Fro. Hi, Rosemary the Farmer. Hi, Malik
Thank-
Halo. Hi, Nintendo. There was something I was going to say.
I love you.
Was
I
it about
love
Nicky
you.
Hill's abs?
No, it wasn't.
It's
My brain
ab.
is here. Oh, I know what I was
I
going
am.
to say. The
Just
Keys
one-
Effect says, Nikki, what is this? Okay.
What is this?
The Keys Effect says Nicky Hill actually gets to sit at the table this week. Congratulations. Live it up.
Thank you. Sorry about that, George.
all
all right,
we had
let's-
to do was bury Kirby's body in the backyard.
Let's
Oh,
try
did I
that.
say that out loud?
Again. Hello, Mom Brain.
Hi.
Hello, Nicky Hill.
Hello.
Hello, Do.
And an uku to you.
Hello, me. Hello, the one and only Joshua Grobot. How are
I
you?
am the world's best
Okay,
singer.
thanks,
I'm
Josh.
here to grace you with my presence.
Josh, how do you feel about Kirby not being with us this week? He's on an exotic vacation.
I'm feeling so great. Thanks for asking.
All right, then more time for Josh, and of course, hello to George. How you doing,
Boy,
George?
We got a lot of news this week.
Where's George's mic?
There's a lot of. Oh, we
We
packed it up.
missed
We
his
packed
mic.
it up.
Oh,
I think
no.
if he, excuse,
I'll be right
I gotta
back.
get by. Well, I gotta get by.
I'm doing all
right. I'm having the lime of my life.
What are you doing? Oh, I know what
You've
you're
been working
doing.
on that
I
one.
know what she's doing.
It doesn't, yeah.
I like that one.
Hello, Ridley Soria.
Oh, why am
And
I like-
Eggplant Jr. Thank you all for joining us today. I know Nintendo's got hello, ZNBashi. ZNBashi, perfect timing because last week I meant to thank you. Then I said I had something that I forgot to do, and then I forgot to do it again. Anyway, ZNBashi last week did a buttload of work on the site in mornings to help me out. So thank you so much to him because he really stepped up and made my work a lot easier. So thank you. I appreciate it. And he did a great job.
Thank you.
If only someone was here to do the soundboard.
Great job.
Great job.
Very proud of
Now-
you.
I
Here we go.
can't do my work.
That's what I knew it was coming, Mom Brain. She got George's mic. Excuse me. I tried to get by here.
The mic's perfect for him. That's great.
Little tiny mic. Okay.
A lot of
Tape it
animals
to
have
his
licked
lapel.
that, so-
Tape it to his lapel, and then he can. Yeah, but it is-
I can't hold
What
anything
about
else,
right
please.
here?
Yeah, he definitely can't hold anymore. It has to be taped to him.
Dangles.
Dang.
This is
Yeah.
so stupid,
It's a
and
boom
only
mic.
for people who are watching the show. This is great. George now has a very tiny microphone hanging right by his mouth, so we can hear him at all times.
So what was that?
Could you please put it in my mouth,
Lime
please?
slime?
Put it in my mouth. Oh, thank you. Check.
It's George's lime to shine.
All right, we got some topics to cover first. I want to again plug GoNinPod@gmail.com. The music team
Dot
has
what?
been .com. The music team has been sending boatloads of music to GoNinPod@gmail.com. So I thank you very
Where?
much for that. Please GoNinPod@gmail.com. If you like the music section, send more music to that email address. But question wise, people have decided I think it's easier for them to ask their question on Patreon because they know I'll get to it quicker. So that's what people are doing. So please, I don't want this question thing to be like, and you have to pay $1 to ask us questions. So the general questions email, if you have any question about Nintendo video games or anything, or whatever the hell you want, send a question there. Just putting that out there. Also, I want to say a special thanks and apologize for Crazy Kernal because last week he had a mishap with his tablet and he was unable to draw the
Aw.
podcast picture. And he didn't tell me until he already had spent hours trying to draw podcast art like in an actual notebook. So he sent me some pictures, including the Samus thing that we Samus Judge Dredd that we put up there. But when he got his tablet fixed, he still went and did the artwork for last week's podcast. So if you missed that, the artwork is there now.
Oh, is it?
I thought it was there now. Oh, maybe it's probably on the actual post and not the archive page. Is that the archive page?
I don't know. I just searched podcast.
I know I added it. Maybe I just did the thumbnail art.
Well, what was strange is this week I noticed that you had the artwork that you're talking about that you added, and then when I clicked on it because I wanted to see the artwork up close, it reverted back to the old artwork.
I might
as
have
well,
just
so-
put it as the featured art so people could see it that way. I can change that. What is this guy doing?
I wanted to go back and see Go Nintendo's YouTube post and see if
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
What isn't?
So Crazy Kernal went through a lot of extra work that he didn't have to do. And he saw people were like, where's Jason? Why can't I see Jason in this art? And he's like, there was no Jason because everything fell apart. But he did the art. And it's Mario artwork based on the power-ups that we talked about. So there's Taki Mario and Nipple Milk Mario and Big Feet Mario.
Oh my god!
It's really great. It's
It is
really
a great
great.
one.
Like I couldn't see it big, but from what I saw in the thumbnail, I was like, "This is going to be amazing." So
Well, you know what? If you give
It's
me a
not-
second, I can go into my email and just get it.
It's I mean, did you say you were apologizing for Crazy Kernal? I think Crazy Kernal really delivered.
no,
Still
apologizing
despite-
to Crazy Kernal, I think, right?
Oh.
I
thought
was
that's-
apologizing for him because he felt horrible, and
for
I
him.
told him he
Yeah.
didn't have to
Yeah,
feel
I mean,
terrible.
that's not Crazy
Um,
Kernal. Don't you dare apologize. You went above and beyond. You had technical difficulties. I'm sorry you had that. I hope your techs are feeling better. And
I think
you're-
everything is.
you're on
I
the
think he's
mend.
back. I
oh,
think
he's back. That's how he drew the
He's
picture.
back.
Yeah.
He's
There you go. I
Still
sent
got
it
it.
in the podcast chat. You can now see the full version if you didn't see it already.
Chat as in
Uh,
the Discord.
Hello, Solid Master Link. Yes, the Discord.
Discord.
So there's that. I want to talk about that. Thank you to him. But he's back in action, so we'll have something this week. Also, I want to give a special shout out to podcast listener House, who sent me, and this is not a lie, a 2-page email about seasonal foods and why they are seasonal. And we had a little chat. I haven't had time to give him a huge response yet.
piece
But
of my mind. Yeah.
he we were talking about why foods are seasonal and how people's appetites around seasons play into that, and supply and demand, and natural flavors versus artificial flavors and all that stuff. But I just love that our silly conversation lent itself to such like a ridiculously well thought out email about seasonal foods. So I would read you the whole thing, but it's long. I could probably post it in the Discord at some point.
It's not something to argue. Like,
We should have foods all year round. You're right. I agree.
you can't.
You blew it.
Okay.
Listen, I'm more worried about Malamars and s'mores. You can have them all year round. Is
Nature-
chocolate seasonal? No. Are graham crackers seasonal? No. Is marshmallow seasonal? No.
I brought you home a s'more thing.
Oh my
How
god,
was it?
it was so good.
From
It
where?
was so good.
From the chocolate lab.
A dog down the street.
Yeah, he sells them. He sells chocolate. I know. Funny,
You
right?
don't want to know where it came out from. Yeah, that was really good, man. I didn't know if I was supposed to like heat it up or just ate it, but I
No.
just ate
Oh,
it.
he's scratching at the door. He's got another batch for you.
So thank you to
Scratching
House.
to go out. Sorry.
Oh, and now I have something else. What's the name of that new Nick Cage movie?
The unbearable bound. Yeah.
I bought a Bat Cave starring Nick Cage.
The unbearable weight of massive talent or something.
I'd say that's close enough.
The
So
unbearable weight of massive talent. It's actually 100%.
spot on. This was brought to my attention this week.
We're in it.
They released a new promo clip for the movie. This has cursing, but I censored it. You should still be able to see what or hear what the curses are. But I just want to play this clip.
Does it have to do with that?
Thank you. Can you just stop stalling and answer the question? What is your third favorite movie of all time?
Paddington 2.
What? Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, Paddington 2. Connect those dots. I mean, I don't want to be a snob, but
I cried through the entire thing. It made me want to be a better man.
bullshit, Mom.
Paddington 2 is incredible.
I told you.
So let's what's his face? You know, the Mandalorian
Nicolas Cage.
and Nicolas Cage. Mandalorian and Nicolas Cage in that movie. What is the Mandalorian's name? You know his name.
Papa?
Pedro Pascal.
That's it. Talking about Paddington 2 and then Nick Cage
That's
apparently in the
awesome.
movie. I want that to be a real life story so bad, and I know the movie is partially about him in real life. So I had no interest in the movie. Now I have great
You had no
interest
interest in that movie?
None whatsoever. I saw the first trailer and I was like, that really doesn't look good to me. I was like, I don't remember who I said it to, but I was like, I think this might break the streak of Nick Cage's great movies, but apparently I was very wrong. So I'm more than happy to admit
There
that.
have been plenty of movies that broke his streak.
Well, I meant like his recent streak of like, you know, Mandy and Pig and
Have you seen Pig?
no, but I know it reviewed really well.
Can we go
Yeah.
see
I
the
saw Mandy and the other one that he was in that was really good.
that new A24 one with Data in it?
You know,
Everything,
Everything.
everywhere, all the time.
I want to see it. I saw a friend who saw it. No, wait, I have a I have a friend who saw it, and he kind of surprised me. He said
He goes to another school. You don't know him.
he said it was kind of like a candy store where it's a lot of like it's everything you could want, but there's no nutritional value or something like that. It's like you know what I mean?
But I mean,
It's
who
a
doesn't
movie.
like a candy store?
I know. He said I think it's just like there's a lot of
Is this the same friend that said he doesn't know what games to play?
no.
Hello, Tony.
No, just there's a lot there, like a lot of words that
Style, no substance.
Hi, Tentavision.
Yeah, sure.
Just to get the chat involved in this, Tony says they're going to see it tonight. Freddie Fro says that movie was so good, probably one of my favorite movies of all time.
I don't understand how somebody could just walk and be like well, I mean, people have opinions, but like
He's right. No, they don't.
it's got like 98 tomatoes and 90 something popcorns. So
Which movie are we talking about now? The Nick Cage one? Or
everything, everywhere, all at
Everything,
once.
Yes.
Everywhere, all
But
at
the Nick
once.
Cage one I saw had, last I looked, 100% critics. I don't remember what the audience was, but now that I know he talks about Paddington in it, I'll go see it.
I'm surprised. So I guess your comment, I misinterpreted your comment about like his ruining his streak because he makes so many bad movies, and I thought you were sarcastically being like, "Oh,
No,
this
I
might
mean-
ruin the streak."
Yeah,
of
like
No,
great
Color Out of
movies."
Space is recent, and I didn't care for that one.
Yeah, but that's leagues beyond his other crap.
I like instantly appreciated it because it's him.
Division says in all capitals 98 tomato.
Well, that's your dad saying. That's how your dad references Rotten Tomatoes.
That's 98 tomatoes. Impressive.
That's a good sauce.
Oh my God, we've been doing it all wrong. Division says Rotten Tomatoes is just some guy that counts all the tomatoes in every movie. Listen, I'll go up to 100.
Look,
Then I'm not
I'm
counting anymore.
only referencing it because that's what your dad says. So,
My dad says lots of weird stuff.
but yeah, I think the second I saw that trailer, it's like, I appreciate that he's kind of making fun of himself. Like a title that's that like heavy, the massive, like unbearable weight of massive talent. Like even if he really feels that way in his shortbread tower, like he's
like shortbread.
nice.
He's taking it lightly. He's like
Freddie Fro
not taking
says
himself too seriously, and I think that sort of content going into it that way is automatically just like a little bit more fun.
Freddie Fro says, I'd probably disagree with your friend, Nicky. A simple plot, but I ended up in tears. This is not the Nick Cage movie. I ended up in tears that, according to my wife, was very similar to my happy blubbering at the end of Paddington 2. Man, I got to see this movie. I got to see both of these
I've been
movies.
asking to see it.
So let's go
I'm so
tonight.
busy.
You asked me, and I said I couldn't go, but I could go later. I said I could go later that day, and you said you were like, "Oh, it's 7 o'clock." Go ahead, I'll wait for that.
I really like shortbread.
So,
We've all got
lots of great movies. Lots of great movies.
Well, I think for a while, because he was doing so many of those like Mel Gibson, Bruce Willis type movies that were just like going to streaming services,
Yeah.
B movie type things, like
Gotta pay off those
pooping them out.
castles.
Yeah, and you almost thought like, is he taking himself really seriously? Like not because he's doing those
Yeah.
movies, but because that's the kind of personality he is. And like, it's nice to see that he puts this out, recognizes that he's been kind of, I don't want to say a joke at all, because he does some really good stuff, but like, he had that reputation for a while where it was like, is he taking himself seriously? And I've seen him on a couple of talk shows recently too, and he seems like he's embracing the fact that he's kind of like eccentric.
That's
And,
right. Embrace
and
it.
I love
Just
that
like Jeff
about-
Goldblum does. Embrace your
Oh my gosh.
weirdness.
I don't know why it took me so long. I watched the first episode of The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Mhm.
It's
fun.
so good.
It's fun. What was the first one about?
Sneakers.
Yes.
And he's such a charming individual.
He is very charming, and he seems so
like
nice.
naturally charming.
Just
and
wait
yeah.
till you get to the tattoo episode, because he goes to a tattoo parlor and like everyone's getting a tattoo of him or something. Like I don't remember the exact circumstances, but he starts rating like tattoos of himself on other people. It's really
But
funny.
like he's wearing his sneakers and he goes to a basketball court and he's talking about like basketball shoes and fashion and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, but he's got like a jacket. He's like, what do you like? How do you like my jacket? And then he pulls up his pants, and his socks have stripes on them too, just like his jacket has stripes. But then they say something about his shoes, like, your shoes don't fit the rest of your outfit. And he takes offense.
killed him.
He gets very upset. It's just like it broke his heart.
You're right, Tentavision. It is. Embrace your weirdness. That's a slogan we should all live by. All right, let's go.
Hey, I am making what was
Go
that?
ahead. I was trying to tell you get ready for news without you bringing it up.
Well, like the other night with the phone, and you were like, "Is that you texting me?" And I was like, "No." And then you were like, "Yeah, it was." I'm like, "You didn't pick up on."
You know who didn't pick up on it? My parents. Except now they're listening.
Were you texting about?
Well, mommy, if you're listening, it was not about you.
Totally was. It totally was.
It absolutely was not.
There's a 50-50 chance there's only somebody else in the room, right?
I would like to remove the word weird from my vocabulary, right? Because that like starts to look.
It's now weird.
You know what?
Isn't that weird?
I just feel like the binary is like such a thing that I.
But if I'm saying it about myself, right?
But no, I don't think that's.
There's whole slogans.
Don't
for
speak
cities.
about yourself the way you would if you wouldn't speak that way about someone else.
But I like weird.
But I think the word weird starts to imply that like there's
I
one
get
single
it.
norm,
But
and like
come on. Me
Yeah, but, like-
compared to normal people, I'm the weird one.
yeah, but can we start like thinking
I think
another way?
Freak?
think
Should I
both-
say freak?
I think
Yes.
both Austin. I mean, I'm sure there's more towns.
What the
but
hell am I doing here?
But you're freak, there's more.
More.
Fly.
than just two. But I think Austin, Texas, and Portland, Oregon have their slogans like "Keep weird." Keep Portland weird.
I mean,
keep,
so I
keep
think
Austin.
I guess maybe
What do you think, George?
maybe just not calling
Rhymes.
people weird, or I don't know. I'm looking to be more open.
If you're gonna go for this, you need to workshop it more. We gotta have some kind of replacement. Like you can put together a presentation.
I
and
didn't
I'm
know
willing to listen to it.
I didn't know I was going for. Yeah, we have that projector now.
Yeah, you put it on the wall. Yeah,
I just feel like there's so much that like differentiates people from each other and makes like one side this and one side that, and
Well-
I'm there. Like I'm not.
I'm with you in this sense that I wouldn't look at somebody and see them doing something they enjoy and be like, look at this weirdo, or that's weird, or why are they being weird? You know. But
I think I remember you saying that exact thing
about you, why? What are you doing?
about everybody walks around. Look at this weirdo paying his taxes.
I
Look
think-
at this weirdo in a suit with a briefcase.
My brain. Let's move into news, please.
I think it's important that we normalize weird. And I think that's
There's
like
a
the thing.
slogan. There's a slogan. Thank you, Mom Brain.
Sure thing.
All right. Well, we're gonna just tackle all the bad news right at the start of the news section, rather than
Oh my god!
calm down, Betty, rather than getting into it piece by piece. So, this week, let me find the.
So we
first
can't
story.
follow through day by day here, post by post.
You can. I'm just gonna make sure I get all this important information out first.
It's a weird way to go about.
So it
doing
all
things.
started halfway through the week when an unnamed Nintendo employee claimed that their right to unionize was violated. This
I
report
think
came
it was
in.
Miyamoto.
It
This
was. You made the joke I was gonna make.
I'm trying to think of how to say it.
I mean, look at the last Nintendo employee that spoke up about things. Reggie kicked him out.
Got rid of him.
So this comes from Axios. Axios is doing some game
What's wrong
reporting
with
now,
you?
but Axios's game reporting is headed by Stephen Totillo, who used to do Kotaku and who is a friend. So he's doing serious news now. So he said that an unnamed Nintendo employee had filed a complaint with the National Labor Relations Board, and the complaint said that Nintendo, who uses hiring contractors, violated their legally protected right to unionize. So they're saying one of the contractors stepped in and was like a union buster, basically, or busting the union before a union even happened.
You
So
can't
Whistleblower? Is
get
um,
me. I'm part of the union.
it was
Till the
hiring
day
firm
I die.
Aston Carter. And they supposedly took concerted activities and made coercive actions against the worker for this union stuff. So they filed this thing with the NLRB, and we reached out to Nintendo right away to get a statement from them. And they were nice enough to provide a statement a day and a half later, I think. So I'll read you Nintendo's statement in full. They say, quote, "We are aware of the claim, which was filed with the National Labor Relations Board by a contractor who was previously terminated for the disclosure of confidential information and for no other reason. Nintendo is not aware of any attempts to unionize or related activity and intends to cooperate with the investigation conducted by the NLRB. Nintendo is fully committed to providing a welcoming and supportive work environment for all our employees and contractors. We take matters of employment very seriously." So they're working with the NLRB, which is good. They're, the investigation's going forward, which is good. Obviously, companies being anti-union isn't really a surprise, to be honest, as, disappointing as that may be for some people. Like, that's par for the course here in America. So
This is Nintendo, what, proper? Or
Nintendo. Nintendo proper is in charge of all of this, but this was in particular in Nintendo of America through a hiring contractor.
Because I just didn't know, like, I honestly don't even know how like businesses in foreign countries work. I'm that ignorant. So like, do they
I
have
said that
unions
to
and
my
stuff like
parents when we
that?
were talking about this. I was like, I don't know what
Your dad knows all this stuff.
he
right?
does know
Big
union
history
stuff.
buff.
I said, I don't know.
You find Jimmy Hoffa, we'll get to the bottom of this.
You got a milk bubble there?
Yeah, I don't know where it came from.
I said to my parents, I don't know what the union situation is in Japan, if there even is one, because, in Japan, it's very much you work until you're practically dead. Then after work, you go out and drink all the time with all your work buddies. And like, you sleep on the steps outside of your wherever, and then you go right back to, or you sleep in your cubicle. It's the life of a salaryman. That's the big thing over there. Like, you work ungodly amounts of time. You then go out and party with your bosses, and then you just do that all week long. Like, so it's completely different situation over there, and I can't see how that ties into union stuff, but I don't know. I am completely ignorant of union situations.
I mean, a
in Japan.
union would
not allow that probably.
Well, right. I mean, the union would put parameters around
you're
protecting
thinking of a
the
union
people.
here.
Right.
We don't know. We don't know any of it. So
Miyamoto made a statement. He said, "I am not Bobby Kotick, but I do know him."
Oh, that's good. I was trying to think of a name to make that joke. That's perfect. So then following that, others that were hired by contractors at Nintendo shared some statements about their treatment at Nintendo.
Is this a different news story that I should follow somewhere?
Yes, but these are all tied together. And I read the whole piece to get a summary of the information. There wasn't anything that was like, Nintendo is mistreating us and Nintendo is making us or work extra hard or anything. It was just like, there's no room for moving to full employees. Everybody, they say after 3 years, you can become a full employee. And these people said they usually fire you 2 months before the 3-year thing. I don't know if that's the case with everybody. Apparently it happened with some of these people, so I don't know. But it wasn't like, I don't want to say abuse. It wasn't abuse, but people working hard, people feeling they didn't have any upwards momentum and stuff like that. So you can read Kotaku's piece in specific. I'm not like sugarcoating or anything. I read the whole thing, and it wasn't anybody who was like, I was abused at work. It was, we worked long hours. We worked hard. They said like they felt they were never really Nintendo employees. Like Nintendo employees could go
because they're contractors,
eat together and go everywhere, but the contractors couldn't. So yes, I understand that makes people feel bad and makes you uncomfortable, but also they are contracted employees. They are not officially working.
An issue if you're hired as a contractor and you have an agreement for a certain time frame, and then that company terminates that contract early, like that's kind of an issue too. But
it sounds like it's built to be an advantage to a large company.
Oh yeah,
obviously,
which is how a lot of companies.
So
that's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, this is, I'm going to say, par for the course for companies. I don't even want to say just in America, around the world, but particularly in America. Sure, this is par for the course. It's not stuff you want to hear. It is very disappointing, and I guess it's even sadder to say it's not surprising because it's just
doesn't
not
sound malicious.
So from
it just
here,
sounds like good business for the big boys.
Here is the point as a Nintendo fan. Well, everybody does what they want as a Nintendo fan. I'm not going to tell you how to operate or what to do or what to play or not play, but For here is the point, I think, if Nintendo really matters to you, where you make an important decision for yourself. Nintendo has shared their statement. Nintendo has said they're following with the investigation and allowing it to go ahead. Nintendo needs to be held accountable more seriously going forward. Like when these things pop up, we got to at least listen to the people and see what Nintendo's doing. Other companies right now in the game industry are raising their wages for testers and other, what I hate to use this term, but other low-level employees at companies. They're raising their wages to $20 an hour. I forget, oh man, I don't want to misquote, but there were two companies in particular, and it seems like it's picking up steam. So that would be great to see. But if Nintendo matters more to you than just they put out games and I don't care how they get made, then this is the point right now where we need to really pay attention and track this stuff and follow it and see what happens. So again, it's a tough topic to talk about. I'm not telling you how to feel about it. I'm telling you personally, I'm going to track this stuff. I've already reached out to Nintendo for more personal statements on certain matters. I can't guarantee I will get a statement because I think Nintendo's going to handle this very much. They'll put out a statement at one time and the same statement's given to everybody. Like the statement I got was the same statement that all the other outlets got that reached out to them. They're not going to give individual statements. So it's people have to make enough noise for them to put out a blanket statement through different outlets. But I did my due diligence. I reached out for comment. I linked to specifics. So we'll see what happens. But it's a tough topic to talk about.
How does this relate back to the Nintendo game Good Job?
That's what they tell the employees right before they get fired, the contractors right before they get fired.
Here, play this
Good job,
game.
and then your reward is through this door, and then they lock them out.
It's just a hole in the ground.
So that's all. Oh no, there's one more. Obviously, Nintendo worked with a contractor as well to do Joy-Con repairs, and that story isn't really anything that you wouldn't expect. The contract company said, we had to do a lot of repairs and we were doing thousands of Joy-Cons a week. And they said their problem was so Nintendo hired contractors all around the United States to repair or replace Joy-Cons. And when things moved more towards repairs, those companies hired other people through contractors, and Nintendo was the go-between for those contractors. So this one company in New York in particular got a new wave of employees, contracted employees, to help them with these Joy-Con repairs. But the vast majority of these employees didn't speak English. So it made the whole situation that much worse. There was I think the guy said there was 2 or 3 people on the team that knew how to speak English, and they had to go around and tell everybody else everything on what they had to do and how to do it. So it led to issues, obviously. But again, a contractor issue, and I don't know if Nintendo was involved in the selection of the contractor that contracted these other employees for this company in New York, but Nintendo plays some part at the very least. So there's all that. It's a lot. Please,
What a rabbit hole.
don't take what
Wow,
I
what
say
a rabbit hole.
as gospel. Please go read the original content. I do summaries of all this stuff because it's important to cover, but I want you to read the original reports. You can go to Kotaku, you can go to Axios. Their information is free. You can get the full piece and
It's
all the
free.
details from everybody that spoke. So again, if Nintendo matters to you more than just games coming out and you don't care how the games are made, then go check that stuff out.
Don't get too
There you
cocky.
go. That's my piece on all those stories, and we will certainly follow up with whatever happens and keep you updated on all that. All right. Well, what's going on here? Let's get into
But they didn't have a Cosby room, at least.
not uncovered yet. No Cosby room yet.
Not that we
That's
know.
only at Activision so far. We've heard this is a real thing.
Do you want that light on? I'm just
Oh my
realizing it's
God.
getting a little.
Sun's getting a little low, big guy. Yes,
Oh
Activision
my
had
God!
it was at a hotel, right? A
Mhm.
Cosby room where they hung up a portrait of Bill Cosby and invited women back to the room. And they didn't think it was any big deal.
Who did this?
People at Activision.
Well, then later they
Ooh.
said, "Oh, well, but we were all wearing ugly sweaters. That's why it was called the Cosby room or something."
Excellent.
Yeah. Dr. Huxtable liked to play doctor, if you know what I mean.
There it is. Yeah,
So,
read
but
up on
I,
that.
I mean, so I didn't even notice, but this Good Job game has gotten 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 9 out of 10, like really good ratings, and it's all about you play as the CEO's son. You play as the CEO's son working their way up the corporate
Nepotism.
ladder. Yeah, and we're supporting that.
Also, that game
See?
was not made by Nintendo.
That's a like they're sneaking that stuff in there, and you're supporting it, giving it great ratings.
They're
Unbelievable.
sneaking it in there. You just learned it by reading right now.
Yeah, I don't do that often. but- No. Psychologically sneaking these concepts into your
Oh.
head so that you accept
So
them.
somebody, when they go to get a job at Nintendo, they're like, well, in Good Job, it was the son who got the job. So I shouldn't expect to get the same thing.
Yeah.
I got to
Yeah.
toil away. Well, I don't know. If you play Good Job, the son does not do a good job. He does a terrible job. My mom says, I was in a union. Raw Dad was in a union. My mom was a shop steward, and uncles were union officers. What the hell is a shop steward?
Mhm.
I
you're the like
imagine your mother was a union member.
Yeah, I believe she was.
a shop steward is like the head of the workshop sort of thing, like the foreman, I think, right?
Oh.
But of like
So if you're a woman, you're a steward. If you're a man, you're a
No.
foreman. Foreman.
no, I think it
Foreman.
has to do with I think
Foreperson.
it has to do with what the career is.
Yeah.
If
it
you're in a
was
machine shop,
Yes.
you're shop steward of that. I think, yeah.
I heard
like Donatello. He does machine.
Yeah,
he does. He does.
Non-union.
I
too.
like how I make a stupid joke and you are like physically
because we're
disgusted.
talking about serious things. What is next in the news?
And then doubled down on it. Like then you like learned about it while you made the joke, and you're
I
like,
didn't
maybe I'll keep going with this.
I didn't learn about anything. I basically did the equivalent of reading the headline. Got like
Wait, that's still learning. You read about the story of the game.
The
I read
game.
the
Are you going to
headline.
argue that that's not learning about the game?
As just being Nicky Hill. I mean, it's
as basic as it is. Yeah. I kind of like just scratched the surface on that one, and now I'm an expert.
Scratch the surface, but you
It was
learned
for
something.
a joke. Gosh darn it!
and he made a joke. Yeah, like it's all jokes.
Well, make a good one, and then maybe we'll talk.
Keep your
Just
devil's
kidding.
advocate stories straight. You're getting them all
Donatello.
mixed up.
Donatello, this guy. You know who yeah, Leonardo. Leonardo would like.
The internal conflict.
if-
Should I do this? No,
Right?
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Would Leonardo be the
He
Leonardo.
leads.
the like the shop steward of that squadron?
Splinter might be.
Thank you,
Splinter?
Splinter. Leonardo. Never. I
Splinter
can't get
owns
into
the
this
company.
conversation. You know how
Splinter
I feel.
owns the company.
There's certain-
Leonardo's the one that oversees the
Nicky
other
Hill-
If
workers.
there's a topic that makes me angry, like Dew gets angry with food sandwich things, it's me and the turtles because I can't do
Nicky Hill is being cool but rude right now.
it. I probably made that a top story this week. We'll get to that. All right. We don't need to do that one. Here you go. So Nintendo apparently had no idea what a bounty hunter was.
What are you thinking?
But isn't Metroid based on a bounty huntress?
That's the thing. So this is a former retro developer who was talking about their ideas for Metroid Prime 3 corruption. And at first they were like, Nintendo's not going to want a bounty hunter to go around and kill people to get rewards because they're not going to like that about Samus. So they were like, how about Samus goes on different missions like a bounty hunter would to like and she'll, instead of killing people for things, she'll explore and get upgrades for her suit while she's on these bounties or items that help her. And Nintendo was like, no, not at all. Because they honestly had no idea what bounty hunter meant. They thought
They
a
thought she
bounty
was
hunter-
hunting for paper towels.
They saw Dog the bounty hunter and they were like, nope, we got to distance ourselves from this.
Nintendo thought the term just meant space adventurer. That's what it meant to them as bounty hunter. And
that's
Retro was
great.
like, no. But Retro was like, so we had to find some way to work with them to get to where we wanted to get with Prime 3 corruption. So they got somewhere where they could, because Samus gets in the ship in that one and flies around. So they got somewhere, but they were like, now we get it because Nintendo was like, Samus is they saw Samus as motherly and altruistic. Like she only did things because she was trying to help people. That was her thing. They were like, she doesn't go out and do things to get upgrades to her suit because she wants them. She doesn't go out for money because she wants money. She does it because she's trying to help people and save the world.
I'm sorry. Wait, when did she become a bounty hunter in the Prime series?
In
She's
like
always
I
been
want to
that,
say
I
the
think, right?
original instruction booklet.
Right.
She's a bounty hunter, but they thought that just meant
Oh, that's
space adventurer. So this was never discussed, and then Retro worked with them on Metroid, and they're like, "She's a bounty hunter," and they're like, "Yeah, like a mother," and they're like, "No, what are you
Wow, that's
talking
amazing.
But like,
So Mother 3 is really Bounty Hunter 3?
Exactly. Yeah, that they use the term "mother" in Japan to mean bounty.
yeah, I mean it's a translation thing, but I would think like bounty, like bountiful, like you know,
Maybe that's what
giving,
they thought.
like
Who knows? Or people were like, well, if you want her to come off as altruistic, well, let her talk a little bit. And then Metroid Other M came out, and they're like, you know what? Never mind. We don't need we don't need her to talking.
like she's like collecting all this stuff to provide, right? I have to hunt
be
the stuff.
motherly.
I have to hunt down the provisions.
Cornucopia.
Tony says this explains the translation issues with Other M. Yeah, it tells you a lot. Maybe that's why the story worked out so poorly in that, because Nintendo didn't understand what the hell they were talking about.
Other M means other mother.
Other mother. Wow. Yeah, that is what it means.
Oh, I never played that
Or
game.
other Metroid, or other. Trying to think of another M.
Or
related
maybe
Metroid
it
thing.
was just supposed to be
Other
Metroid
menstruation.
Mother, but whoever was typing it out on the box
Got
art
tired.
had dyslexia and put the M as so other M like at the end. That's got to be what it is.
First comment comes from Currybo, and they say, I watched the Did You Know Gaming episode, and it was all very interesting. The Did You Know Gaming team interviewed a few former retro folks. Did You Know Gaming does
I
an
follow 'em.
excellent job
I
on
follow 'em.
YouTube. They do, and they still do their videos where it's like, did you know this about games? Did you know that? But they're also branching out into more like mini documentaries. So good, man. They are so good. And they reached out to me to be like, can you share this? Like, Can you hear me? It's not their usual kind of stuff, but they're putting a ton of work into it. I believe they're only a 5-person team. And if you've watched their most recent videos, they're killing it, man. They're going so above and beyond, and they're really unearthing stuff that is brand new for Nintendo fans. Like we found out the Pokemon
you, though,
creator.
right?
No,
Anybody
me too.
tells you information, you go, yeah, I knew that.
It was their video that we found out that the thing that Miyamoto said he never actually said. That was their video. They found that out. And the one where we found out Pokemon's creator,
That was a joke, man.
Pokemon's creator doesn't have autism. This was something that came from a MySpace page 1 million years ago, and everybody just took it as fact, and then it went on from there.
Okay. Yeah. Stuff on MySpace wasn't a fact. Get out of here.
You mean that song playing on his page wasn't his favorite song? So yeah, they're doing excellent work. If you have lapsed in following them, I highly recommend you get back in because they're great.
So are you going to do something with them, or?
I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
I would love to though.
I
You know,
can
because
either
I
confirm
know
or
you
deny.
miss it. Pop Fiction
I
from
love
Game
Pop
Trailers.
Fiction.
That was the best video game show I have ever seen. It was so interesting and so well done, and they
Very
put
well
so
done.
much time into getting
And that
stuff done.
narrator, I could listen to him read me.
He's retiring. He just
bedtime
announced he's
story.
retiring. But that show was great. If you never watched Pop Fiction, go on YouTube. It's all there. It's unbelievable. When
So,
Game
pop-up
Trailers,
video?
when GameTrailers.com was a thing, they had a series called Pop Fiction where they looked into long-standing rumors of video games or unexplained things in video games and did insane amounts of work to figure out what was going on.
How many
A
of those
ridiculous
rumors?
amount of work.
How many of those rumors started with this guy?
No, this guy's only got facts.
Yeah.
But there's so many good videos, and they're like 20 to 30 minutes. Oh, they're so
And they
good.
would
I
have to
never
play,
wanted that
like,
series to end.
You know, they would play the original version of the game, not like a virtual and he'd break it all
Yes.
down, and it was like we had 3 people working for like 3 weeks playing this one game trying to get one glitch to work.
Yeah,
or
because
something.
there's things where, like, back in the day, it was like, if you play this game and you get every item and you win every battle and you use every save point, then this will unlock at the end. And they're like, well, first things first, we have to do that. So they would spend like hundreds of
Yeah.
hours playing like the American release, the Japanese release on original hardware, just to get a baseline
Yeah.
of, okay, None of that's true. Now let's see where this came from. So good. It was so good.
And
there's
so
nothing
often,
like it. There's nothing like
and
it
so
now.
often things weren't true, and it still was like you didn't feel like you wasted your
Yes.
time watching it. You were like, that was so interesting. I
Well,
loved
without
it.
spoiling things, there were a couple episodes where things were
No,
true.
there's a lot of stuff that's really interesting.
Yes,
A lot of
great.
cool
There's-
things.
I mean, and they're about big name franchises. Like it was Mario, Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, a whole bunch of awesome stuff.
Yeah, I watched every single one, and I don't think once I was like unaware of what the game was or anything like
Yeah.
that. It was like it was all really interesting.
Hello, or Donut Muffin. Salamaster Link says, I've never heard of this. Where did Pop Fiction originate? On GameTrailers.com. It was like one of their features that it only came out every couple months because they seriously took so long to put together. But GameTrailers.com was awesome. And then I want to say MTV bought them, and then they just fell apart, and then they shut down. And those guys went on to make, some of the guys from Game Trailers went on to make Easy Allies, which is live, or which is alive right now. I think you can support them on Patreon. They got a YouTube channel. They got a Patreon you should check out. Great stuff. They did great stuff. I really, I often think about that. If I had more time, I would love to revive that franchise. I would love to do something like that.
You would need a heck of a lot of time.
Yeah, because I can't imagine the amount of time that they put into that stuff. So it was great. If you haven't seen them, get ready to go down a rabbit hole because you're going to want to watch every single one of them. There's not a bad episode in there.
There really isn't a bad episode. I'm almost loath to call out a single episode, but for some reason I remember the Deku son or something, like the Deku Nuts son or whatever it was from Majora's Mask was so interesting and like heartbreaking. And I don't even like Majora's Mask all that much. And
I remember the one where they went to see if you could actually catch the mailman.
Yes.
In Ocarina of Time, I guess
all
it
that
was.
stuff was so interesting.
For some reason,
Luigi and Mario
Paperboy, but there's no mailman in Paperboy.
You are the mailman.
are the Paperboy.
You cannot catch him, for you are him. All right, let's move on. In news that I sent to Do this week, and he was I was going to say the wrong thing completely. I was going to say cautiously optimistic. I was just going to say not interested.
What's the opposite of cautious, and what's the opposite of optimistic?
It was announced
openly negative.
I like it. It was announced that a Streets of Rage movie is in the works, and the script is being written by the same man who created the John Wick franchise, and I believe the same guy who wrote all 3 John Wick movies. So it's also being produced by the team who did the Sonic movies so far. So Sonic 1 and 2, which have resonated very well with fans and have done well at the box office. So Sega is expanding their cinematic universe to include Streets of Rage. And I thought John Wick, very popular franchise. The guy knows how to do action scenes. Streets of Rage will hopefully have lots of action. So I very rarely hear game movie adaptations where I'm excited. This one I'm excited because I see a chance of how it could be good.
See, I don't see that chance. I guess you're looking at it from, well, there's experienced people working on it, where I'm looking at it from, we're making a movie about walking down the street and beating up punks. Like The Warrior. Watch The Warriors then. Like this.
Yeah, but
is
The
not
Warriors doesn't have a
interesting to me.
kid on rollerblades, does it? It probably does.
But
rollerblades, I guess.
I don't know. Like, Mortal Kombat's such a terrible franchise in the movies. Street Fighter's terrible. Like, I can't think of one video game movie I've seen that I've liked. So
think of how people would
interested.
resonate with a Mr. X character nowadays. Some corporate bigwig who's crushing the town underneath him, and these young upstarts come and take the city back. It'd be great. Come on, there's so much story
Ethan
to
Hawke
it.
as Mr. X.
All right, who we got? We got Axel. Who could play Axel?
Well, he's got to be like a.
Yeah,
like a thin Chris Hemsworth, maybe his younger brother. But
okay,
still not all that excited about that.
Now, give me
That's that kid from the High School Musical stuff.
Zac Efron.
Yeah, he's popular.
I don't hate that. I'm just trying to think of somebody who would play Skate, but I got no idea.
The Rock could be Max.
Skate, yeah.
Whoever they get to play Miles Morales could play Skate.
The Rock as Max. I kind of like that too. Is he gonna have hair though?
Yeah, I think hopefully. I don't know why they don't give The Rock wigs in his movies. Like,
man, this happened. Why are we talking about wigs so much lately? Do you wear wigs? I'm saying it
when
so
will
often.
you
to you
wear
lately.
wigs?
The other thing that gives me hope is the Sonic movie. I've only seen the first. Was not a bad movie. It gives me hope, and I hear the second one is better. So
Well, that's the we were talking about that, and like I'm still not too keen on the idea, but whatever.
If it's a movie about kicking A's, then I think the John Wick, the person that's behind that stuff is a good pick.
yeah. What do you need in the
Like,
movie? You need fights, and you need eating food out of garbage
Okay,
they
cans.
better
That's what you
have
need.
like
I don't remember if the people
great.
that made Nobody was involved with John Wick. It's a
He
very
was.
similar thing, but like
yeah.
the fight
a
that
ripoff.
takes place in like the bus and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that I would expect to see from like a Streets of
Yeah,
Rage
if I'm going to
or
see this
wrestling.
movie, I'm only expecting it to have like lots of crazy action scenes. That's all I'm really looking for.
with a a
Whisper.
airtight thread that follows from beginning to end.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Well, we're talking
I
about
want it to
a
be
franchise
good, I
that was
guess.
built off of they kidnapped the guy's dog. Did they kill or kidnap it? I don't remember. And
We're talking about John Wick
and an
now.
assassin
Yes.
comes out of
Yeah, they killed him.
like retirement to go
Something is looming.
smack down the bad guys. Like
John Boyega was suggested escape.
John Wick.
A little too
Drake
old.
said that.
He'd be a good Axel. Not Axel. Adam.
Adam.
The
yes.
plot of John Wick is like a video game plot. Like here's a reason to just kick ass. Sorry, kick A's.
I don't know because I feel like
for an hour and a half.
I've never seen a movie where I'm more connected with the person in wanting to kill people. Because if somebody came and killed my animal, I would go nuts. Not,
Right, no,
not the
I'm not-
cat, but
You
I'm not
would.
saying it's like a really terrible. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a terrible concept. It's just it's so far fetched or whatever. Though I think that like
It's
this
wonderful.
guy is in
The-
retirement and he's going to just come out of
the f-
retirement and just destroy. An
No, he's
entire-
got more. It's more than just the dog, though. Like it's the dog that
is.
his wife, who died of cancer, gave to him on her deathbed, and his car was stolen as well.
Well, it's
Keith
also
Safet-
like all of the pent up feelings that he's had because of who he is and trying to get away from that life, but then he kind of gets called back to
And
it
it's
anyway.
brilliantly done where the first 20 minutes there's very little dialogue, and yet you learn so much about the character just through what you're seeing on the screen. I mean, that kind of stuff to me is why it's so successful in the first place.
But I just think that concept and the way it's executed could have been a video game. Like how cool would it be to be playing I mean, you don't have to say how cool it is because there's video games, I'm sure, like beat 'em ups where you are working your way through a club, and then the end of it you end up in the office of the club owner who's like a criminal
like
mastermind.
Streets of Rage.
So there we have it. Perfect.
Yeah.
They've already made
You literally
Streets of
go
Rage.
through a club in Streets of Rage, and then
So-
you fight the owner of the club.
So they're perfect.
Come on, yeah.
They've got it figured out.
Keith Beck says as long as they bring Yuzo Koshiro to compose, we'll get something of
Well, that
worth
would be
out of it.
great.
It'll maybe less weapons and more fisticuffs.
Hi, Burn and Cheese.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we'll have to see it obviously when it comes out, but I don't hold out a lot of hope. It's like, especially because like you play the game and it's like in the year 20XX, Mr. X took over and it's like, this is ludicrous if it were a film, because it's a Genesis game. It's like, this is fun, like this is cool.
Well, yeah. Well, what do you mean? They can say in the year 2022, Mr. Xander.
They don't need
Like,
to
it
say
doesn't
that.
matter.
Any of that.
But
Yeah.
they're not going to do it right. I just, well,
Look.
hey, I can't say that for sure, but I just don't feel like they're going to do it right, because like it's called Streets of Rage. The punks have taken over the city. They're never going to do that right. They're never going to do it right. You're
Why?
never going to get the
They've
leather
already done-
lady with the whip that electrocutes you. You're never going to get the cool punk guys from like the late 80s, early 90s. You're never going to get
They're-
you're never going to get
So you're
that.
thinking it's going to be more like a modern day, like
It's going to be
generic take on just
You're not going to
it's
get
going to be very
exactly
patronizing
what
to the
you
fans
want,
too.
but if they handle it with care, you're gonna get like how they execute it, and I'm sure it's gonna
The
be well done.
game's plot
Look,
is so razor thin.
Sonic
I
the
feel like as
Hedgehog-
long as they get the fighting right, that's all that matters.
Ninja pirates,
and they're not gonna
big
get
big
well,
fat
they're
guys
not
with
gonna-
like
they're
that
not
breathe
gonna-
fire.
They're not gonna get the fighting right if you're basing it off of a side-scrolling game like that. Like
Why not?
that would just be weird.
No, I mean include the moves. Some of the moves. Everybody's got signature moves.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
sure,
looking for.
But like, I don't know. They're like, I
Swino
have enough
bash.
faith in it. Like, there's other things where I wouldn't have faith in it.
People at a go machine.
But they've got almost like
It's
a-
you know that see
a clean canvas or whatever, like with a spark of an idea that they can flesh into something, especially if you're looking at the source, like the person who's going to be doing it.
if they can make it a dark,
Are they
gritty,
doing it, or he just said he wants to do it?
they're doing it.
He's doing it.
Good,
He's
good for
attached
him.
as screenwriter.
I
Good for him.
kind of
Should
want
do it.
them to be like
Scriptwriter.
I want it to be set in like the early 90s or the late 80s or something. It needs to have that feel because like you're not going to be able to do a modern day Streets of Rage and make it have the feel of the game. It's just going to be a bunch of junk.
The Streets of Rage 4 doesn't. It's great, but I don't know that it retains the late.
I think
the
it does.
early '90s vibe of the originals.
I think it does.
So
I think it does.
I don't know how to even bring this up.
I want to say this real quick. Hawk says, I wonder if the Sonic movie's success is to thank or to blame for many of the recently announced video game movies. Probably both.
I would say to thank because you never know. We might get a good movie down the line out of this, but like that's definitely why they're doing this. It's weird. I said this to you the other day. It's weird because like everybody knows who Sonic is, but like not everybody knows Streets of Rage. So to me, it seems like a strange
And what did I say to you?
game. I don't recall.
I said they will.
Oh, that's
They
right.
will
You did
know.
say that, and that was great. So you know what? Bring on the movie. I'm excited for this movie now.
Nikki?
What was your opinion of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Super Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Who
I'll
you
take the
talking to?
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, there it is. Who
Uh,
are you talking to?
Yeah, do. The first movie, your opinion.
Oh, the first movie? I enjoyed the first movie.
Okay.
Is that based on the game? The game?
So then you
Well,
have
Rain's texting somebody,
so
that's way
then
more
after
important.
that
My mother.
movie,
Your
what
mother.
came first? The movie or
game.
the games?
The comics.
It's
Well,
fun.
the comic, yeah, it was based on
What
the
came
comics
first,
thing.
the movie or the games? That's what I asked. I didn't ask about the
Probably the game.
Probably the game.
Probably the
One of
first
the
game.
games.
But I think the second game where like they
It's the
updated the
game.
gameplay a
It's
bit
fun.
to be more like actually, Streets of Rage wasn't out yet. But
I don't
it
know
was
how
like
many
more
games
like
came
that.
out before the movie.
I'm
More
just
More
saying
beat 'em
than
up.
there was a game.
So there's a side-scrolling game, and even if the movie came first and then the game came second, like you can still appreciate them both and you still enjoy them.
Mhm.
So like it can still.
But
happen.
remember, he
Of
was
course.
a kid when he saw
Of
those.
course, and that's
I
another
know
thing. Like,
some of these things when you go back to watch them.
if they put
You're
Sam
bitter.
Rockwell
That Ninja
in
Turtles
a-
movie, the first one holds up, man. That's still a good movie.
yeah, regular or
Somebody
menthol.
flying drones?
Coming,
Never lower your eyes to an enemy
mimicking his movements.
from my cage. Yeah, that's
And
all
I mean,
the
there's
best
a lot
stuff.
of not execution,
A
Bossa
lot of
Nova.
executions in that movie.
Chevy Nova.
exposition in that movie where it's a lot of storytelling that's not about kicking A's. So I don't know. I think I just
Cricket.
the
You got to know what a crumpet is.
Man, I thought you were gonna finish that line. It's
Let-
your
let
favorite
him
line.
have it. John Wick. Nobody like. There's all these movies about like people that you would not. I mean, John Wick. Yeah, you would expect him to be fighting and everything because that's what he is. But like nobody. And there's a couple other ones that I can't remember currently. Of people just like handing out the whoop A's.
Thanks. Very cool.
And
You make it really hard to
just makes
follow
it-
what you're saying
Yes.
when you say things like that, but it's funny.
there's just a lot of movies where it's just people just
Beating people up.
yeah, and it's great. Bring them on.
Yeah, I know.
I love
agree.
violence.
Is that what
All right, let's move on. More evidence of a GBA. More evidence of a GBA emulator came out for the Switch. Apparently, the emulator itself leaked. Now, there's been
Is there a character in that movie that Reggie could be?
nah
Reggie could be somebody in that movie, I believe. He could be
My body is ready.
that wrestler in the pit in the baseball field.
Oh yeah, Abadid. He could be Abadid, or they could shave his head, give him a curly mustache, and he could be that like the captain of the ship that's also like a
Yes.
barefoot boxer.
You know what? I could kind of see him as the bartender too.
Oh yeah, Barbin is
Right?
perfect for
Well,
him. I
the,
think.
the other thing I wanted to say is I told you last week after I left, I watched Detective Pikachu for the second time, and that movie is great.
I haven't seen it yet.
They did such a great job, and it has nothing to do with like trading
Detectives
Pokemon.
or Pikachu's.
So I think this is the right movie for this. Is
I think
you should get excited
I
about
think
this.
if you're
'cause
gonna
you like
make a
that.
Streets of Rage like something like that,
We're done talking about
I watched
Streets of
5
Rage.
minutes of that Pikachu movie and I was like, not for me.
really?
But yeah,
That's a surprise.
Well, did you get?
it's not a. Yeah, it shouldn't be a surprise.
Did you get to
Really?
the city?
5 minutes
So no.
and not for me.
He didn't make it through the credits. They were still saying
Yeah.
who was in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the first person talked or the first Pikachu talked,
up,
and I
what
was
is
like,
it?
nope.
Did Paramount make it or something? It's like you see the stars and you're like, nope, not for me.
No,
All
it
right,
was the
all right.
Pikachu voice, I believe, is what.
So
threw
this
me off.
GBA emulator, GBA games we've heard about.
Is that who it is?
Yes.
Do you not
Yeah, I thought it-
remember this?
I don't remember it at all.
Certainly
I remember I
wasn't
didn't
Danny
like the
DeVito.
5
It was
minutes.
5 minutes, and that's probably an exaggeration. It was probably less than
It was
that.
probably less than 5 minutes. It felt like 5.
All right, we got to move on from this talk. We've heard for a long time now that GBA games are rumored for the Switch Online service, as well as Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. Now, the actual emulator that Nintendo has been testing has somehow leaked online, and people went through the emulator and saw the how it worked and the games that are in there and all that stuff. Now, none of this is officially announced by Nintendo. Nintendo's not like, yep, that was us. You caught us. But this is as close as we're going to get to basically knowing that these games are coming out. So it's not a surprise that Switch Online would get GBA, Game Boy, and Game Boy Color games. It's just a matter of when now. But
Game Boy Advance games. There's a Pokemon game in there, right?
lots, yeah.
Cool. Let's talk more about Detective Pikachu.
It's
related.
We can talk about it later. We spent so much time talking about Streets of Rage. I want to make sure you said we got a lot of news, but
I know enough about Detective Pikachu. One of them gets pregnant at the end, right?
so we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. You can go through that list again. There's a whole bunch of games that are tested, but I wouldn't take that as gospel as those games appearing in there. But it's a who's who of GBA games. You know what it is. The Castlevania games like Aria of Sorrow and Circle of the Moon. Some Pokemon games, Mario Kart, Mario Party, Mario versus Donkey Kong. That Kingdom Hearts game, what was that? Chain of Memories, that's in there. So all the usual suspects, like I said. First comment comes from King Brolin. He says, I mean, Mario Brothers was in every Super Mario Brothers Advance game, so it has to be one of the 4 at least. I'm sure there's a Super Mario Advance collection that would come out if they do this GBA emulation for Switch Online. They're not going to not release those games. So you'll get to hear Mario. Why don't I have those on a soundboard? Those games have so much talking in them for Mario characters, and it's all so weird. It was like the GBA's new. Let's show how we can put voice clips in games, and all the original Mario games, 1, 2, and 3. And the 4th one that I probably World. I don't know. Probably not World. Whatever it was. Has so much talking. Like every boss talks. I mean, like voiced clips, not like speech bubbles. Like every some. I wish I
What
wish
does
I
it
had
sound
them.
like? Tell us one.
I'm trying to think of all the like Birdo. Oh, I'm gonna look it up. You got talk amongst yourselves, please. Not about Pikachu.
All right. So I found out this week that one of, I guess it's one of my favorite movies. I've seen it like 100 times. David Fincher movie called The Game. Charles Martinet plays the
game. The game.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Charles Martinet plays Michael Douglas's father in that. He has no speaking lines.
Wow.
It's just like old family movie footage. And then I won't spoil it, but yeah, it was amazing. Like I was scrolling through Reddit or something, and it was like, here's Charles Martinet, and it was like old timey movie footage, and I was like, I can't believe I've seen this movie like 20 times, and I had no idea that he was in it.
100.
It's great. I mean, it felt like 100.
Sorry, he's not.
What's funny is like
Yeah, no, I
I'll
never
watch
knew that
that
too.
movie 20 times, and I'll watch
Detective
like
Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu
Yeah.
for 3 minutes and be like, nope.
I got my Birdo sound clips.
Well, hello there. You've got a lot of nerve. I'm gonna finish you off.
Hey, now.
I'm ready for you this time. How are you?
This is all Birdo.
This is as far as you go. You've come a long way.
There you go.
You
That's
mean
Birdo.
the enemy that you beat in like 2 seconds? They gave her like
Well,
30
to
minutes
be
of
fair, she
dialogue.
does pop up a few more times in the game. She's not like how many times like Clyde comes up twice, I think, and Mauser's in there a couple times. But Birdo, you fight a good amount.
So what was the first game? What was the first time that Charles Martinet provided the voice for Mario? Because like according to IMDb, it's something real strange.
Is it like Mario teaches typing or something?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I believe he also said he was doing a voice for a pinball machine.
And then he was also Super Punch. He was in Super Punch Out as the referee.
I didn't know that.
Announcer,
Really?
referee,
We quote the referee all the
1,
time.
2, 3,
Announcer,
4, 5.
announcer,
7.
referee, and boxers. And then Mario's game gallery, but then like I guess didn't really get into it until Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, for Mario teaches typing to be the one.
Where he
1+1.
Super Mario 64, where he delivers such classic lines as spaghetti.
Or 1 + 1 = 2.
Tetris 99's gotten its new Maximus Cup. It starts today. The Maximus Cup this time around is for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So get in there, play some Kirby or play some Tetris 99, and as long as you score a total of 100 event points, you will get the Kirby and the Forgotten Land theme for the game. So there you go. Guybone says, missed opportunity. They could have had a little Kirby on the side that sucks up the lines as you complete them instead of making them disappear.
Sorry,
I do like having the Kirby blocks, though.
Sucks up the lines. George?
I'm very busy right now. Sorry. We're not going to do that. We got a lovely surprise this week. While Zelda Breath of the Wild's sequel has been delayed into 2023, we got news of the game getting moved up. Xenoblade Chronicles was originally going to launch in September, but instead, now it's coming out July 29th. So that's 2 months, July, August, September. Yeah, 2 months earlier than we thought or were told. So Xenoblade Chronicles 3 comes out July 29th. And yes, there is a special edition that is available exclusively via the My Nintendo store in North America, Europe, and Japan. So if you want that special edition, you're going to have to go to the online store.
You good, Nicky?
But yes, you'll get digitally.
I'm dumb.
Something's going on in the chat now.
Solid Master Link pointed out to me that I confused math with typing.
I thought you were doing it as a joke, but
no, I can because there's what's the math one?
What's the math?
Isn't there a Mario math game?
I'm sure there's a Mario teaches math.
Or maybe
I don't know.
for some reason I'm thinking
there's math
Donald Duck,
Super Mario 1,
Donald
Mario
Duck
2,
in Math Magic Land or something. I don't know why I
A
thought...
B C D.
No, there was a Mario math game.
Look at you have the
No, you don't.
10,000 suns in your hand.
Like sons, like offspring,
like Dr. Octopus, for Christ's sake,
sons
man.
of the sky or sons of the womb.
So there you go, RPG fans. Your next big Xenoblade Chronicles game is coming out July 29th, 2 months earlier than expected. So that's great news. First comment comes from the King Up North, and they say, "What? I forgot it was even releasing this year, but now 2 months earlier. First, Kendrick's album is suddenly releasing next month, and now this summer is going to be amazing." Well, I know who you mean by Kendrick. I don't listen to his music, but I'm glad you have things to be excited about. That's fun. Let's have a little fun. You know what? Let's Josh, can you throw me to commercials, please? We're overdue. I screwed up.
I wanted to talk about that Xenoblade game.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Us. We're the Spirit Hunters, and we're a show that treats Hunter x Hunter and Yu Hakusho's author as the center of the universe. Some weeks we do linguistic analysis. The Chinese meaning of this character is to smelt or refine, but so the changed meaning in Japanese it means to temper. Other times, we get absolutely smashed.
So we take one shot every time. Yusuke uses the ray gun. 1 hour later.
This is the least coherent episode. Sarah,
I think your apartment is haunted.
Check us out at the HyperX Podcast Network.
Superhero stuff you should know. Go deeper than you've gone before into your favorite comic book films, storylines, and characters. Superhero stuff you should know.
Part of the HyperX Podcast Network.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to say at the Xenoblade Chronicles 3, there was always that quote of Miyamoto or something about, having a good game that you can really put the time into, or you can just rush it by 2 months and get it out sooner. I'm paraphrasing.
Do you think he knows we talked about that earlier? Or
Sure.
I don't
No,
know if
well,
this
he
is a
was doing
multi-layered joke.
He
or
was
not.
doing the other. You were
He was
doing
doing
the
a flip
reverse
on it, yes.
joke.
But we talked about that earlier, right?
About what?
Well, he
That's
didn't
what I
think of the
thought.
joke earlier. I don't think.
No, but I referenced how in the Did You Know Gaming video.
Yeah,
They
no,
found
I know
Okay,
about that.
okay.
No, but I'm talking about the I'm talking about this situation.
Yes, so it's a joke on the flip.
The
of
flip side,
thing.
yes.
It made it worth it to have to wait for it twice. Once through a commercial break when I literally forgot that we were even talking about it.
I wanted to talk about it before the commercial break, but I got shut down.
My apologies. Josh did it. It was not my fault.
We'll edit it in post
I'm
and put it
feeling so
before.
great. Thanks for asking.
We also have a rumor about the Switch Online N64 app because more of the stuff that leaked pertaining to the Game Boy Color and all that emulator. We also saw that they were at some point testing out N64 Transfer Pak communication as well. So if you remember back in the day, if you're old like us, the N64 had a special thing that plugged into the controller cartridge or the controller slot where you would normally put the memory pack or the rumble pack. The transfer pack let you connect with certain Game Boy Color games, like I believe Perfect Dark, and obviously the big one was Pokemon Stadium, because you could bring your Pokemon from your Game Boy games into Pokemon Stadium and battle them on TV. And there's a reason why Pokemon Stadium has never come to any virtual console collection or is not on Switch Online's N64 app yet. It's because that game uses the Game Boy games to get the Pokemon data, and that's like the whole purpose of the game.
Pokemon data.
Nintendo was testing this, and that would pave the way for a release of that game again. So again, this is just rumor. But it was part of that same leak, so it's they were at least testing it. Nintendo was officially testing this capability, so that we know for a fact. Whether it's implemented somewhere down the line, we don't know. Steister says, this would be awesome. Some of my favorite memories from childhood were seeing my Pokemon on the big screen. I remember doing that as well, and I thought it was really cool. That's when I was like really, really keeping up with Pokemon, and then I became old, and now there's, 900 Pokemon, and I hear one every week, and I still don't remember them.
And now you're so old that you haven't even watched the Pokemon Detective Pikachu movie because you're just too old, and that stuff's for kids.
He's
Not
played
true. First part
played
true.
Arceus.
Yes.
So there you go.
Thank you.
You haven't beaten it though.
No.
Too much stuff to do.
Too much.
Okay, good for you.
Man,
proud
remember
of you.
that little Poke thing that you used to carry on your belt?
Tamagotchi? It was a
It was
Pokeball.
kind of like that actually, but
It was a Pokemon?
what was that thing called? It was like a little Pokemon brand thing, and you'd walk around, and while you were outside, you could fight your Pokemon and stuff. It was from 10, 15 years ago.
I'm sure somebody in the chat will remember what that thing is called. But yes, I do remember that.
Was it officially branded?
Pokemon Walker from Heart Gold and Soul Silver, says Colma.
That was it. Yes, that was it.
That didn't
And
take
that would
any
be
time at all.
right about timeline wise too. Yeah. I was walking around with the Wii Fit U pedometer as well. I had that. I mean, look, now I'm walking around with Pikmin Bloom. So there you go. Hello, Colma. Wow, Colma, that's great. Moving on. Speaking of Colma, a big Sonic fan. Well, Sonic Origins, which many people thought was dead, is not dead.
Meow.
It was reintroduced this week, and now we know it is coming to the Switch on June 23rd. Digital only for all platforms.
By
Just wanna
June
put that out there.
23rd, there'll be
Oh, yeah.
a
That's right.
40-year-old
Somebody
at
be
our
selling-
table.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, there already is when Kirby's here, but
Old Man Kirby.
That's a great
Sonic
comic.
Origins includes Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic 3, and Knuckles, and the best game, and I'll hear no different, Sonic CD, all in one collection. And these are all reworked, retweaked, but not changed gameplay wise from the originals. So they've been given the remaster treatment.
How many times do we have to like re-release these? You know, like I'm glad they're doing it. I think it's great.
They should have timed
I thought
it.
you liked this stuff.
A little sooner.
Didn't me, you, and I'll
Don't
say
we have
Squig.
on the GameCube a Sonic game that has literally like every game up until
Yeah, but
that
when I
point?
made
Like,
this argument about Resident Evil and Final Fantasy, you guys were like, no.
what
No,
was
but
your
I
argument?
mean,
I don't understand.
so, but there's other generations behind you that don't have those systems, so
That's
make it
fine, and
available
that's
for
fine.
them.
Put them out, I say. But like, no,
Put
we're
them
not.
out,
We're not
Dicey.
getting Sonic
That's
2 with like Resident Evil 2 2020 graphics. We're getting Sonic 2, like it was,
right?
So
As it should be.
And that's fine. I'm saying I don't want it to be updated. It's just like, how many times do we need to keep putting out the same compilations?
Well,
Like,
it's the same.
don't we own them yet? Don't
It's-
we all have them now?
Okay, wait. Here's a question. Do you own them?
I've got that game on the GameCube that has Sonic 2 on it, which is literally the only one that
But-
I'd ever play.
What is on there? Is Sonic CD on there?
I don't know.
That's
I couldn't.
What else
I
is on the
honest-
collection?
I honestly couldn't
What is that?
tell
The
you.
Sonic Mega Collection, I think it was called.
I think it might be that.
Let's take a look. I'm curious. But anyway, this has those 4 games. And Sega did something so damn weird with how this game is released. It's the weirdest digital distribution I have ever seen. Like, they have 2 main versions and then DLC for those versions, but they've piecemealed everything. So it's like, if you want special character animations, buy this one. If you want control over the camera, buy this one. Like, weird crap that makes no sense. And it, like, their infographic was so confusing, and people are like, why are you doing like this? Devolver Digital put out an infographic for a game they're selling right now, that black and white ninja game. I don't remember the name of it.
Mhm.
And they copied what Sega did. They took the exact same layout and made their own, except it just
As a
shows all the
joke.
platforms and everything is on all the platforms. So they really zinged them for it. But the internet is rightfully so angry about this because it makes no sense. It's so
I
strange.
mean, be careful saying that the internet is rightfully angry because, you know.
I think in this instance they are.
You're talking about the Sonic Mega Collection. Is that
That's what I said. Where this is Sonic Origins, but the one Deux was talking about on the GameCube, I believe, was the Mega Collection.
Yeah, and you wanted to know what was on the Mega
I
Collection.
do.
right? So I'm assuming the internet is right on this one.
Is it wiki?
Yeah, probably not.
You know what they say about
90%
assuming.
chance, I'll say.
According to this, the default Sonic games that were on it were Sonic the Hedgehog, believe it or not, Sonic the Hedgehog 2,
Great game.
Sonic Spinball,
Just came out on Switch Online.
Dr. Robotnik's
Mean Bean,
Machine, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and Sonic 3D Blast.
So
No
not
CD.
CD.
Hold. No.
I thought CD was a part of that. Maybe there was the Mega Collection
unlockable.
Plus.
Unlockable Sonic games. This is a lot for one disc. How
What's
was it
coming
one
out,
disc?
Nicky?
Blue Sphere, Sonic, Knuckles in Sonic 2. That's what that says. Knuckles in
It's a
Sonic
lock-on
2.
technology.
Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And then additional unlockable games was Flicky,
Mom Brain, Flicky.
I love Flicky.
Rystar, Comics Zone, and the Ooze.
Comic Zone.
Comic Zone. Fun game. Very hard, though. First comment comes from Backfug. And they say, this is a lot more than I wanted to pay. DLC for a rather cheap set of old games seems particularly sucky, too. It is $40 for the standard edition if you're interested. And it is $45 for the digital deluxe. I'll just tell you, standard edition is the main game. So, you know, all 4 games. Digital deluxe edition is the main game. Hard missions, character
money.
animation in the main menu, camera controls over the main menu islands, character animations during music islands, and additional music tracks from Mega Drive Genesis titles. So strange. Sega, what is this? I don't get it.
What?
I don't understand at
Sounds
all. Well, there you go. That's that. All right, we did had something Ninja Turtles to talk about. I did make it.
We
top
did
story.
had.
We did had.
We did have.
TMNT Shredder's Revenge, one of my most anticipated games by far.
I thought this came out last year, and I just
I
never
thought
bought
it was going to come out last year.
I think
It is
everything
coming
was,
out.
so.
We found out summer 2022. So it is on the way. Next best
Some are
part.
not.
It is going to be physical and digital. So there will be a physical release. Best news. The 4 voice actors who provided the voices of the turtles in the animated series, the original animated series, are all returning to reprise their roles.
How many of them have like old man mouth or something?
What's his face? Rob Paulson's still got it, baby. He's been active ever since. He's doing
Name is
Pinky in the
Robert
Brain right
Paulson.
now.
Really?
He's
Oh,
Pinky.
Oh, that guy's great.
He's Pinky.
Oh,
He's
he's
also
Pinky?
Yakko.
Never mind. I mean, he's still great, but he was not the
You were
guy I
thinking
thought he
of-
was.
Yeah. The guy who did Orson Welles and
Yeah,
the Critic.
yeah, green penis.
So yeah, those actors are returning. The voice of Leonardo, Cam Clark, the voice of Michelangelo, Townsend Coleman, the voice of Donatello, Barry Gordon, and the voice of Raphael, Rob
And
Paulson.
Corey Feldman.
Yeah, right. So there you go. 2022 summer. The original voice actors. We know 6 playable characters so far. So the Turtles, April, and Splinter, and there will be more playable characters revealed.
Splinter.
Casey.
He's gonna break a hip.
Casey's got to make the cut for a playable character,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
D says hi,
what's
says
his name?
nice, but an actual date would have been nicer. I agree. Summer is too vague for me. I've been waiting forever for this game. Are we talking about summer? When does summer start? June, late June, or summer, mid-September? Like,
Yeah.
come on. Do a little.
That's how they get you.
Come on.
What's the what was the pizza kid's name?
Hey, the pizza dude.
The Pizza Kid's name.
From season 2. from the
I really
second
don't know
movie.
what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah. From season 2, you know,
Okay,
the movie,
okay.
season 2.
I know what you're talking about. I don't
Kyle
remember his
says
name.
April must have great support if she can fight in that jumpsuit with her body. You would think that would be really restrictive. Yes, I agree with that.
I'm amazed she can fight at all. She's a
What
reporter.
are you talking about? How many superheroes have jumpsuits like
Doesn't
that?
she fight in the movies?
No.
People confuse
Yeah, but
me.
that's a fashion jumpsuit. That's not like an active jumpsuit.
Whatever.
She
This
got to look
guy-
good on camera.
Whatever.
It's
this guy.
fashionable and it makes me active. Let me tell you.
All I'm thinking of is that GIF you sent that one time of your face over the animated April O'Neil driving the turtle van.
I did that. Did I do that?
Vera
Do I have
said that?
Tubi?
Did I do that?
Do I
Do I have
Tubi?
Tubi? There's it. Damn it.
That's why we
All
did
right,
it.
next week I add it. There was literally the next week we have a reason to play
Nice.
it. Moving on, we have a rumor of more NES games coming to the Switch Online collection. Again, this comes from the same leak. So we had 2 versions of the app that leaked. One that is up to date with what we have now, and the other that showed other games that aren't yet on the service, such as the entire original run of Mega Man. So Mega Man to Mega Man 6. Also, other games.
Another thing I own on the GameCube. All
Don't even
those Mega
talk
Man
about that
games.
one.
Yeah,
How do you
They
make
s-
Mega Man and reverse the buttons?
that it's still maddening to me. Still maddening.
What else we got here? Adventure Island, the original Castlevania, Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, Double Dragon 2 Special Edition,
All
Galaga,
those twos.
Load Runner. I'm sure I'm going to name games that are already on there and I just forget. Pac-Man, Rygar, Super C, and some other stuff.
Ooh,
So
love that Super C.
games people want, definitely. Are they going to come over? Who the hell knows? But we'll find out.
The
together.
Immortal.
Mine Without a Cause says, oddly, that looks like Super C, but no Contra. Mega Man is an absolutely gaping hole in the NES library that would make a huge difference for me personally. Same with Castlevania. Oddly, Genesis has Contra and Castlevania. How about some Wily Wars while we're at it? I just wish they were able to get more of these licensed games on these services. If I remember correctly, there's some kind of funky issue with the original Contra, and that's why we never see it re-released. There's something up with it, and I don't remember. There it is. There it is. There's the GIF. Put that in the Discord.
I don't know how to do that.
You touch the plus button.
Oh yeah.
You hit plus, and then you put the picture
Oh, yeah?
there. Coleman says it's always Super C and not Contra. Hello, Joe Shabadoo.
Am I? And I'm sorry for offending people with my ignorance, but
Do I have Tubi?
Am I wrong to like Super C more than the original Contra?
I think Super C is the better
I
game.
love Super C.
Super C, I think, has a better soundtrack. I feel it's better balanced, but Contra is
Just
the
the classic.
game. Yeah. Contra's not a bad game at all, but Super C, I would say, is the better of the two. Yeah.
Nice.
I prefer the levels, the side levels in Super C as compared to Contra. Like Contra is running down the hallways.
Yeah.
Super C is top down.
You kind of like going up the screen kind of thing.
I prefer that. Yeah. You're right. I'll say you're right. We rarely agree on things like that. But this is it. We did it.
I liked the sequel better than the original.
That's true. All right. There is this man who used to work at Nintendo. You might know his name. It
Reggie.
is- Reggie piece of meat. It's Takaya Imamura.
My
He's
body.
My body.
He's
My
a
body.
former art director for Nintendo, and he worked on
The game.
so
My
many,
body is.
so many.
My body is.
The game.
There you go.
My
My
body.
body is the game.
Ooh.
That's it.
It's time to my body the game.
He worked on so many different Nintendo games, doing artwork and created classic characters such as Star Fox. Well, he doesn't work at Nintendo anymore, but he took to Twitter with a desperate plea for Nintendo.
And he said, it's going to be legendary.
he made a plea that I 1,000,000% agree with, but I am biased because I love this franchise. He said, hey, Nintendo, it's been 6 years since Star Fox Zero came out on the Wii U. I know there'd be issues with it, but please port that game to the Switch. And then he said, I'll even come over and I'll do a brand new animation for the game like we did for when the game first came out. He said, I'll do it. I'll write the scenario. I'll help out. Just
The
bring
game.
that game over to Switch, please. And I think he's right, because Star Fox is not one of Nintendo's biggest franchises. And the latest installment went to the Wii U, one of
No
Nintendo's
way.
worst selling
I
franchises
don't
or
believe it.
consoles. So it never had a chance. It didn't have a chance to reach anybody. Now we have the Switch, 100 million units sold. So many other Wii U games have made the jump to Switch. Yes, I recognize there's a lot more work in bringing over Star Fox because of how it used the gamepad, but it could be done, and it should be done. Damn it. But it's
should
not
be
going to happen.
It should almost be a rule that every game that was released on Wii U should come
Well,
to the
Star
Switch.
Fox Zero, and in particular Star Fox, what was it called? Guard. They really make use of the gamepad. Like, it is built around the gamepad. So it would need a. You could rework them both into standard games without a doubt. But versus like, that's going to take more money than just a port than many of the other Wii U games involved. So I don't.
But for
I
the
think they
Switch,
would.
it should be pretty okay, right? Because the Switch is very similar.
No, because on
can't
you were
use
doing
the
two different things on TV and gamepad.
Yeah, you can't use it at the same time you're.
They
on
could rework it so that you don't do that. Like the motion controls and all that could still say, and all that could still be involved, but you'd have to, like, things in that game were built around that functionality. You'd have to tweak it completely or take it out. I don't know. So it's more work than a regular Wii U to Switch port. And they're not, I don't think they're going to put the money into it.
Wii U, that system.
What they should do is they should answer all the classic Star Fox fans' prayers and port over Star Fox Adventures to the Switch.
There's not a top story this week, but there was a story about a guy who is a big Star Fox Adventures fan, and I guess he's also
they found one.
He's a Half-Life fan, and he took Alex out of Half-Life and put Crystal from Star Fox in the place of her. Here's where it gets even crazier. He got the original voice actor for Crystal to come record the lines for Half-Life, so her character makes sense in the game.
It's crazy, but at the same time,
it's beautiful.
What was she doing? You know,
she's a voice actor. She was doing other voices.
Oh, she can do other things. Oh, then
that's how
then
acting
that is
works.
crazy. That's crazy.
How acting works.
So he paid an actor
even know
to do
if he
a
paid
voice
her.
work. That's amazing. That's like, it's almost like he paid her to do her job.
Yes, but he's not a company releasing a product. He's hacking one game, hacking another game, combining those games together, and asking a voice actress to do his pet project. This is like some billionaire in a castle that's like, come dance for me. And she's like, how much? Let's do it.
There's,
I like it.
There's a lot of professionals out there who would not just be
Trained.
like, "Oh, you're going to pay me? Yeah, let me just do whatever like you're working on this weekend." Like,
Yes.
it's kind of.
This is
I mean,
not.
it's not the same. But it's like, hey, you want to mow my
maybe
lawn?
she
I'll
saw
pay
it
you.
and she's like, "Oh, Nintendo wants me back." And he's like, yeah, Nintendo, definitely. The Destructo 94 says, I would love to see it ported to Switch with actually intuitive and usable controls. However, this game needs more if it's going to be a semi new release in 2022 or 23. And in a few more missions, maybe even a Bowser's Fury-esque side quest with Crystal or something. Polish off the graphics and visuals and add in online multiplayer mode too. And you can have something there, but a straight port, I don't think they would cut it. That would cut it. They're not going to do any of that. It's way too expensive. It's not cost effective.
Yeah.
Steve Irwin, RIP, wants to know where the "It's not going to happen" clip came from.
It's not going to happen. It's some motivational speaker that popped up on my TikTok. And it was just like a 10-second clip of that part because it sounded so funny. And I love it.
That guy is a motivational speaker?
You don't think he can do motivational speeches?
What motivational speaker tells you it's not like
Well,
don't
I
pursue
saw the
your
whole
dreams.
clip eventually later. No, it was like, you think the company you work for cares about you and is going to take care of you when you're 80 years old? It's not going to happen.
But he should have said,
outstanding. Now you
That's
are
a
a
motivational
real
speaker.
hero.
You think,
Wow, I am impressed.
you think that company's going to take care of you? Outstanding.
Moving on, North America. What do we get this week? Let me tell you. We got Zombie Army 4 Dead War, the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. If you guys haven't played the Stanley Parable, check that out. I don't care what system you play it on, but play that game.
But I judge things by their names, RMC.
It's like a Firewatch or one of those games.
What makes you think I have the time to play something that you
Okay,
suggest?
I
Did you know we
apologize
can
for
play
suggesting
Tetris
For all the
things
other
to you.
things
I
that
won't do it ever again. 8 Ball Clash, ABC, search with me. Abyss, Memory Fall. No, let me try this again. Abyss Memory, Fallen Angel, and the Path of Magic. Animal Babies Puzzle, preschool animals puzzles game for kids. Anuchard or Anushard. Arcade Archives, The Legend of Valkyrie. Ashland Dossier.
We're still on the A's.
Beautiful Ukraine.
It's a long list.
Beautiful Ukraine. If you buy that game, 100% of the proceeds go to help people in Ukraine. Big Kids and Toddlers Educational Learning Games Collection.
Oh, it's a
Bundle
puzzle.
5 and 1. Bit Orchard Animal Valley. Burger Bistro
Boring.
Story. Camper Van Simulator.
Oh boy.
These simulator games, man.
Castle Formers.
What are you gonna do with that gray water?
Katana. Clutter 9.
Shovelers full.
In honor of Nicky Hill. Clutter 9 stream. Cosmic Break, Gun and Slash. Cover Fire, offline shooting game. Deck of Ashes, complete edition. Demon Turf, Neon Splash. I'm turning into you. Dragon Cafe.
That's what I sound like.
Evasion from Hell.
Is this what I sound like?
Funny Car Wash, Trucks and Car Game, Garage for Kids and Toddlers. Galactic Wars EX. Galagee Shooter, not Galaga. Galagee.
Galagai.
Ganryo 2.
Mega doo-doo.
Hakuma Kojiro.
That's what the doctor said I had.
Gata Protectors, Cart of Darkness. Groundskeeper
Lord.
2. Horror Stories. 100 Fires, The Rising of Red Star. In the Mood. Inukari.
And
Chase-
might I add,
Inukari, Chase of Deception Deluxe Edition. Japanese Neko-sama Escape, The Old Inn. So basically, that's an old inn where cats are trapped and you have to get them out. I am not lying, Aubrey. Jim's Adventure.
Get over here!
Jim's Adventure. Jump into the Plane. Lumote, The Master Mote Chronicles. That game looks pretty cool. Metal Tales Overkill. Moto GP 22. Neon Lore. Orbit Industries. Perfect Truck Bundle. Pixel Game Maker Series Dan Z. Princess and Fairy Tales Jigsaw Puzzles. Puzzle game for kids. Puzzle Game Bundle. So all those games in one. Rainbow Yggdrasil. Ravita. Rogue Book, which is a card battler from the man who created Magic the Gathering.
sure, why not?
Rolling Car. Rotund Zero. Sakura Angels. Samurai Bringer. Scarlet Hood and the Wicked Wood. Oh, that's good. I like it.
Wow. What a hole.
Super Mega Zero. Taisho Cross Alice All in One. The Last Friend, The Serpent Rogue, The Sorrow Virus, a faceless short story, and finally, Wizard Mike. Popple says,
Fantastic.
What a week.
I hate to say it because I think the Switch is an infinitely better system than the Wii was, but I get very strong Wii shovelware era vibes from these lists each week. I don't want to knock anyone who has made a video game. It's hard work and I've never done it, but you have to admit that there's a lot of junk in these releases too. The barrier for entry on the Switch is so low. Yes, the Wii had WiiWare later on in its life, but the majority of the games here are only digital and never intended for physical release, so the financial risk of developing and releasing a game today is much less than it used to be. I don't really know what my point is anymore. I guess it's just to say, how do we find the diamonds in the rough these days?
Exactly.
You're just looking at the names, Popple. That's the whole thing. You're just looking at the names. I agree. There are some in there that probably aren't great, but you're just looking at the names. So,
and I guarantee you, Popple, that I agree with you. And if we sat down, you and me, Popple, and played every single one, we would hate them all.
New segment.
That's not something you want to boast about. All right, Mombrain, you want to hit me with...
Did it sound like I was boasting, or
New
did it sound like I
segment.
was sad at the state of affairs?
Josh needs to do the introduction. I apologize.
think
Josh,
that'd
could
be-
you introduce Mr. Hill,
I think
please?
that would be great.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky. Shut up, I don't care. Releases.
Little internal dialogue there.
Now, can we get that soothing music, please? Mombrain, that's all you. Nicky Hill, your list is much shorter.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll
We'll
make
see
it take
about that.
longer. These are the releases for Europe for the week of April 21st in the
What's
year of our
coming out,
Lord
Nicky?
He wasn't lying.
2022.
High Blood Ocean.
Gangryu 2.
We
Hakuma
started on the
Kojiro.
G's, and we're still going to be at this forever.
That's Ganryu.
Ganryu.
Gonorrhea.
Oh,
I get
yeah,
it.
these are not in
Is that
alphabetical
what I
order.
sound like?
Lumote, the Master Mote Chronicles, Metal Tales Overkill, Neptunia. Is this cross or times?
Cross. Does it say crossover?
Oh, is it now?
Yeah.
Neptunia cross Senran Kagura Ninja Wars.
We have a review of that game. If
Sure,
you're
why
interested.
Hecky Kagero.
8 Ball Clash, 8 Doors,
Numbers.
Arum's Afterlife Adventure, which is 8 Doors after Arum's Afterlife Adventure.
Did I clear that up? Because I made it sound way more confusing.
Unushard. Bit Orchard, Animal Valley. It's all one name there. Burger Bistro Story. Castle Formers. Katana. Or Cat-Anna. What is it?
Sure, why not?
Cosmic Break, Gun and Slash. Deck of Ashes, Complete Edition. Oh, I thought you were going to push something there. Dragon Cathy. Evasion from Hell. Funny Car Wash, Trucks and Cars, Car Wash RPG, Game Garage for Kids and Toddlers.
Perfectly. That was exactly right.
Galactic Wars X.
Wow.
EX. Come on now. Galaga Shooter. Galaga.
You guys are all playing Galaga. I'm playing Galaga.
Galaga Shooter. Galaga. Nothing could possibly go wrong. What?
Mombrain wants us to say something.
He was sounding a little glonky there.
Oh, pretty funky.
Oh, feel a little Galaga.
Horror stories. Horror stories. In the Mood. Japanese Neko-sama Escape the Old Inn. Leela's Sky Arc. MotoGP 22. Neon Lure. Orbit.Industries.
Oh, big breath. Big breath.
Princess and Fairy Tales Jigsaw Puzzles. Princesses, Fairy Tales, Intelligence Trainer Kids Games Learning Game for Girls and Boys.
I don't want to be here.
Rainbow
It's only for girls and
Yggdrasil,
boys.
which I thought I said last week. Revita.
Games do get delayed.
Yeah, but do they get delayed the week of?
Yeah,
Okay.
happens a lot,
man,
actually.
Oh, man. Rogue Book. Rotund Zero. Sakura Angels. Samurai Bringer. The Star Wars Force Unleashed. Star Wars The Force Unleashed.
Forest Unleashed.
Super Mega Zero.
The force is strong with this one.
The Last Friend. Wild West Crops. Wizard Mike, and a demo for y'all if you're interested. for The Last Friend.
Yes. The Last Friend is about you and a dog.
Just
so
me?
It's gotten excellent reviews. I don't know what happens to the dog. I'm just saying,
Gonna
if it's
be
called The
sad.
Last Friend and it's about a dog,
Not at all.
you're right, Josh. I'm
The
worried.
Last
Thank you,
Friend
Nicky Hill. That
is
was
the
excellent.
best friend.
The
And the Keys
Smash
Effect
that
says,
subscribe
Go ahead.
button.
You can do it.
for when this is inevitably read on the podcast, I'm slipping in here to say that I'm very happy RMC took my suggestion to bring back the classic Sweet Releases music. Brings joy to my heart. Thanks for listening to your fans. Heart emoji.
Very nice fade, Mom Brain. That was perfect. Keys Effect, I'm going to say you were 2,000% right, because that makes that segment... I can just zone out and go with the music.
It's nice. What is that from?
Now if we can just
that
shut
music?
up the guy talking
Wave
over it.
Race.
Really?
It's a fantastic song. It's from the options menu.
Yeah, it's great. It's very soothing.
Also, since we're talking about the show's just off the rails anyway, so I'm gonna play one of these. Wave Race. What is that song?
True Story Wizard Mike.
Here we go. Listen to this is a song. Now I'm going to say this to you, and you're going to hear it. Have you got cheating on your mind? I'm not telling you when it's going to happen, but it'll happen. This song's so good. Right?
Wow.
Have you got cheating on your mind?
I mean, isn't there what is it, Laverne and Shirley or something? What was the old
That is not correct.
the old TV series intro? We're gonna make it after all or whatever. It could have been that too.
We're gonna
make it after all.
Yeah,
it's in there.
Words.
It just has
You can put words in there. It works.
Numbers.
You know, the only reason I know that song is from Wayne's World.
Wayne's World, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Moving on, Lego Star Wars, as we said, has been killing it, but now we have an official total in, what is this? Since its launch on April 5th, so we're 2 weeks out?
The
The
weeks
game
out.
has sold across all platforms combined an astonishing 3.2 million
Amazing.
units.
Is the game fun?
Well,
It
we don't know because we haven't seen a review. People are still buying this game without a GoNintendo review, which is amazing to me.
This is funny because I have something about a reviewer to talk about later, or a game developer to talk about later today that's related to reviews. But yeah, 3.2 million. And Switch was the dominant platform in the UK. I don't know. We don't have the breakdown here yet. NPD's got to be coming out soon. Probably this coming week, actually.
I'm going to say Switch again.
I think it'll be close between Switch and PlayStation, because people on PS4 are definitely going to buy it, and people on PS5, I don't really know what they're playing, so they're probably going to buy it too.
You know what I just
But
looked
it's a game that sells universally across all platforms. Everybody likes Lego.
I looked it up because I was like, when is this game coming out? And there's no information about it.
It's out.
Stray.
Oh, they just talked about it, but they said we don't have a release date. Please don't expect it, but we have something new to show off for the game because they know people want to know. The Key Spec says, I've been making my way through it slowly and really enjoying it, though I think it's partially because I took a decade-long break from the series. The games are long, as I said. And yeah, if you're going through to get everything and try and hit that, what are those stupid little things called? Pegs? Studs. If you're trying to get the stud level maxed out for each level, you spend an hour in a level.
I thought you called
Know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought they were pips. I think I'm wrong. I think it's
Studly.
studs. Somebody in the chat tell me, Colma, you know everything about video games. Are they studs?
That's none of your business.
Josh, I think you're a stud.
I'm feeling so great. Thanks for asking.
Josh, do you think I'm a stud?
Call of Duty, bro.
All right.
Colma wants to know what was the question?
Lego, the little things you collect. They're called studs. Yes.
You're the one who's been playing it.
Yeah, they don't say what they are when you
Ms.
pick 'em up.
Beaverhausen says it's studs.
Thank you, Beaverhausen. Capcom has announced that they are revising their financial forecast because their games sold better than they expected them to. They said, in particular, favorable performance for Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, and continued strong performance for Monster Hunter Rise. So they are revising their piecast. They are revising their forecast to 857 million in operating income. Nope, that's wrong. That's sales estimate of 857 million, and operating income has been adjusted upwards to 327 million. So, thanks to those two strong releases on Switch and other games, Capcom's had Resident Evil 8 that's done very well for them as well. So they are seeing their Switch gamble, which really wasn't a gamble to begin with, paid off, and it's doing even better than they expected.
So they made 2 Monster Hunter games.
They're completely different.
And then they made a Resident Evil game where you hunt monsters. Gotcha.
Like Resident Evil or Monster Hunter Rise is the traditional Monster Hunter game. Monster Hunter Stories is an RPG. They're like very different, but obviously they both involve monsters. So the Keys Effect again has the first comment and says, as usual, the Switch is the rising tide that raises all ships. It's going well for everybody. If you support the Switch, you usually get something out of it. As I mentioned earlier, the Switch Online Genesis collection got 3 new games, and there are 3 games that are of note. Even if you haven't played these games, you've most likely heard of these franchises. Hop on your Switch Online app right now, hop on your Switch right now, fire up the Genesis app, and you can play Space Harrier 2.
Oh,
you can also play Shining Force 2. This is your week, dude. 2 2s.
I've heard of both of these.
And of course, the game that needs no introduction, Sonic Spinball.
German.
Sonic Spinball is available. I never played Shining Force 2 because I was scared of RPGs, so I do want to check that out. Space Harrier 1 and 2 I did play. They're fun. And Sonic Spinball I actually owned. I want to say I got it for Easter. And I have very vivid memories. Mom Brain, you remember when I had that real crappy, not the nice small TV, but like the one that had like the clicking channel changer on it on the cart.
Yeah.
That was in my bedroom, and I wheeled that in there to play Sonic Spinball with like an RF connector and everything, man.
Where you wheeled it into your bedroom to play?
Because when I would play, sometimes my dad would be like, I'm trying to watch football. I want to hear that game noise. It's the same thing over and over, which is something he still says today. So I wheeled the cart. My mom was like, honey, you can take it in your room and play. It's okay.
I mean,
so I wheeled it in the cart in there and I played.
For those of you who have not heard the story, the only thing that takes that another level is our friend Lisa, who, when she was having a rough day, her mother would draw Lisa a bubble bath and then roll in a TV on a cart and make her jam with toast and let her watch TV in the bathtub while eating jam and toast.
What a life.
That's nice.
Right?
Oh, draw. I thought she drew it.
Here's a picture. Since we don't have a tub.
Nice it
Could
would be
you
to
imagine?
climb into this drawing of this bubble bath?
Like, just think about how
Oddly enough, she drew her a real bath, but drew the picture of jam and toast. So
just think about how loved that makes you feel, that your mom like makes you a snack and rolls the TV in and draws you a nice bath.
Oddly enough,
That's lovely.
Hylian Tom says
your
that's
father
luxurious.
Complains about sounds from video games, but he's probably asleep while you're playing them.
he is asleep a lot. And I found out the ultimate way to get him to fall asleep. Tell him you want him to pay attention to something. He's gone in the first 5 minutes without a doubt. It is undeniable. The Keys Effect, again, says, I should probably get around to trying the Shining Force games at some point. Being a big RPG fan and all, I've listened to their soundtracks. I've never played them, but I agree, my friend. And now we got the perfect excuse to play them. This is crazy.
Perfect.
This is crazy. There's Profanity in Splatoon 2, which is a Nintendo-developed and published game. So we don't know if this was done as a joke. We don't know if this was done by a disgruntled employee.
Profanity like this?
May the rats eat your eyes!
This is the mother of all profanity. So in Splatoon 2, you've probably seen Gelfonso a million times. He's at the apparel shop, and he wears a different shirt each day you go in there. And one of the shirts has Splatoon language writing on it. Someone went into the game, pulled the texture off the shirt to see what his shirt said, then translated the Splatoon font into English.
As you do.
And his shirt says F-U, but it's not the letter F. It's the full word.
It says, so long gay Bowser on his shirt.
So somebody put F-U in Splatoon 2, and they thought they could sneak it by Nintendo's tests and sensors, and they did. I guarantee the game will be updated very soon and this will be removed. But go in there and take a look while you can. And we got a screenshot of the guy's shirt too, so you can see it. It's there. I have never, with the closest thing I can think of this to happening wasn't done by Nintendo. Something in Smash Brothers. I want to say Melee. There was crowd noise on one of the stages, and they took the crowd chatter from some, like, I don't know, audio library license.
And you can hear in the chatter, it says, "Get him a body bag!" Yeah.
Somebody in the background. It's like a restaurant, and people are telling stories and talking whatever and laughing. And somebody drops an F-bomb in there. Now that was by accident. They didn't catch that, but this is very much on purpose. Streaks says, not fresh, Gelfonzo. Well, depending on your usage of the word fresh, it's either not fresh or very fresh. So, yeah, Nintendo Watch. I guarantee you there's an update coming for Splatoon 2 that will remove that very soon.
That might be one of those put in there by one of those angry contractors.
Well, contractors aren't doing development.
So if you have a digital version of that game, don't update it, right? Or even
that'd work. You just have to take your Switch offline completely.
Right.
That's how that guy got Advance Wars early. He pre-ordered the Advance Wars collection, whatever it's called, Advance Wars reboot camp, whatever.
Yeah.
He pre-ordered it. Then he took his Switch offline. Then when the game was originally supposed to release, it activated for him. So he got the game.
Spicy, make the ball!
Wait, could you have just changed the clock in your Switch?
No, you have to take your Switch completely offline because the servers.
Yeah, but he never put it back online.
No,
so he could have changed the time in his Switch forward, and the Switch would have thought it was the actual date and time. Then
no, because there's still more server checks that have to happen.
How though, if he's offline?
Well, when you pre-order a game, you still get the connection back and forth when you're on, but at that time the date was already locked in when he pre-ordered, and the full game had already been uploaded to Nintendo servers, so it would unlock at that date. But you can't manually change you can manually change the date on your Switch for yourself, but the Switch has a timer, like it has a clock. Like you could change the date whatever you want to on your Switch, and it's like, okay, it's 2087, whatever, like it doesn't matter. But the internal memory of the Switch knows when 24 hours cycles through and all that stuff.
They're gonna get you.
They didn't get him.
Yeah, but so can you no longer change the date and time and stuff for Animal Crossing?
No, you can't. Oh no, you can. You can time travel, yeah, but you get in trouble.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Whatever.
I'm not even that interested, so I don't know why I'm asking the question, but I'm just confused. So the guy pre-downloaded a game,
and it was the full game.
Took his Switch offline.
Yes.
And then the day that the game came out, he got the game.
The day the game was supposed to come out, because the game has been delayed indefinitely because Nintendo didn't want to seem insensitive and release a war-related game during what's going on between Russia and Ukraine.
Oh, this is recent.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the game got delayed once a while ago. Then it had its new date. The new date got canceled because of the war situation.
So the way it works,
finished.
You download.
Game's done, yeah.
He didn't like download a key to download the game. He
paid his money.
Was that it wasn't a pre?
You preload games. That means the game's there, and then it unlocks when the date arrives.
The game.
But they changed the date. But he wasn't online, so his Switch never connected to the servers again to get don't do it this date. This is not coming out. Instead, his Switch lived in the mindset where it was. This is coming out this date. Switch got to that date. Game unlocked. But Nintendo, because I think it was a girl actually, because she did that and posted about it online, Nintendo found out. And they're like, we're going to have to remove that, please. Because they were sharing videos of the game online, and Nintendo's
come
like,
and get me.
So,
right?
And she said, I'll do it because they requested. I'm not going to be a jerk. But
just play
if they didn't share the stuff online,
why didn't they just send her or him or they an embargo and say, okay, you can review it, but just nothing before this date?
I don't know, but it's all very exciting, and it's a game we all want to play too. We're all excited for this game. What, you think I'm being sarcastic right now?
Would you like to review it? Since you're so excited.
We
for it.
are also so excited. I don't know if I'm gonna have the time.
I'll wait as long as it takes.
Yeah. It's kind of insensitive right now with all the what's going on.
No, when they get the date.
What time?
Oh.
What are you doing with your time?
You don't want to know.
You know how long people have been waiting for Advance Wars to come back, man? Do you know? Because everybody's been like, Fire Emblem was almost dead. Fire Emblem got that one game on the 3DS and it was a hit. And now Fire Emblem's out all the time. They're like, where is that moment for Advance Wars? We've been waiting decades for a new Advance Wars. Bring the series back. It's so closely related to Fire Emblem in terms of gameplay. And Nintendo finally was like, it's time to bring it back. Now's the time. Best-selling system, wide audience.
You know what?
Gameplay like Fire Emblem. And it's a collaboration between them and Way Forward.
I'll let somebody else review it just because I know
I would love
we're
the
all
opinion
so
of a first
excited.
timer.
You know what I would love? Eternal Darkness 2. That's what I would love.
Well,
but what are they going to do with it? Nothing. We're just going to keep holding on to the franchise and not making it.
That's not Nintendo's fault.
It's not.
No. You know how games work. People don't buy games. They don't make more games.
Oh, yeah.
Nyack or what's his name?
Dennis Dyack. Eternal Darkness, my brain. Anything to say on it?
No.
Oh.
Oh, is that what
what that's from? Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
If you didn't know that came from Eternal Darkness.
Our we got no juice.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
I thought you had it plugged in.
Oh, there's the extension cord.
I don't understand.
It's over, Johnny.
Oh boy.
This was on. Oh, I know what happened. Yes, we need the little stupid brick. Oh boy, can you guys handle?
I can.
No, Nicky Hill, talk about the next story. I'm gonna go get what we need.
Well, we had a nice thing going here.
Do you want me to just unplug the speaker and we'll go raw?
We already talked about the Joy-Con situation, right?
Wait, what does
We
George?
talked about Splatoon already.
What does George think about what we've been doing so far? Oh, George. So guys, how's it going?
Yeah. You? Good week. Splatoon 3 is going to launch in September 9th, the year of our Lord 2022.
Do you
Here's
need
an
me to
early
do that?
look at the turf war.
Goodbye, Rummy.
Surf and turf.
He just brushed by my leg.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like a different language to me, the way he writes this stuff. Why do people come to this website?
Where's the hoozy?
What's going on in the chat?
We've done 800 episodes, and you can't handle talking about one story.
Well,
for
this
5
is a
minutes?
quote here, but how do I seg into that?
This is a what?
A quote? It's a press release. In Splatoon 3 online 4v4, well, I think that means 4 versus 4 as far as players, in reference to players, turf war battles can create heated matches across a mix of new and returning stages where teams of 4 players face off against other 4 players to cover the most ground in their ink. Newly uncovered footage provides insight on one of these new stages.
I didn't want you to read what was written there.
What did you want me to do?
The news is the title. Splatoon 3 has been given a release date. We
For me
now
to know the
it's
news,
coming
I
out.
would have had to go to the site. And
You guys read titles all the time and think that's the news.
yeah, I did read the title. No one, I didn't get one bite from either of these two.
Personally, I don't think Nicky Hill's to blame. You know, you out of the 3 of us at this table, you asked Nicky Hill to take over.
You jumped out of the plane without a
You're right.
a licensed
I take the
pilot.
blame. It's my ship, and I steered it right into a.
I mean, George.
Whirlpool.
We had George for a minute. He took up a little bit of the time.
All right. So Splatoon 2 has been given its official release date. It's coming out September 9th, 2022. We also learned more
Splatoon
about
3.
I said 2, didn't I? Yes, Splatoon
Okay.
3. Thank you.
2's the one with the curse words in it.
Yes, that's right. Nicky Hill, as he so graciously told you, detailed the new turf war battle stuff. And also, so Xenoblade 3 was supposed to come out in September, and it got moved up to July, and now Splatoon took the September release date. So now we know they shifted a few things around because
none of that was
Advance
here.
Wars didn't come out. So that's a gap.
Because they wanted to.
This guy wants me to report on stuff that's not on the page.
They wanted to comb through Splatoon 3 and make sure there's no curse words on anyone's shirts.
We need more time. Yeah, we're gonna need a couple more months for the cursing in this game. First comment comes from Backfug, and they say, as someone who has every amiibo, please no more. I feel all the Splatoon amiibo have been a huge headache to get. Oh, there's gonna be more amiibo, my friend. Mom Brain, let's see if that sucker works.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
There we go.
Man, that clip came up on like TikTok or something for me recently.
DD Mega Doo-Doo?
What was going on there? Yeah.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
Was that a teleprompter
It's like
situation?
the Dina Menzel thing that John Travolta did.
Good point. He says a name, or he said, I don't even want to say, he tries to say her name and says some alien language.
It's definitely a different language.
Nintendo was Japan's most
They're reptilian.
Successful publisher in Japan for 2021. Nintendo accounted for 32% of all game sales in Japan for 2021. And if you lump in Pokemon Company as well, they accounted for 42% of all Japan's game sales in 2021.
Numbers.
Your top 10, I'll give you, starting with number 10, Marvelous Entertainment. This is going to be a fun game. Can anybody here tell me any game Marvelous has developed or published? You both played
No More Heroes.
Yes, No More Heroes. Very good. Koei Tecmo was number 9. Any Koei Tecmo game?
Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
That is correct. Sega was number 8.
Sonic.
Very good. 7, Microsoft.
Halo.
6, Square Enix.
Final Fantasy 7.
5, Bandai Namco. And now it gets tough for Deux.
Pac-Man.
Yes. 4, Konami, the company that used to make games.
Castlevania.
Excellent. 3, Pokemon Company. We already talked about it. Doesn't count.
Pokemon?
2, this is the last one for you, and I have confidence. Capcom.
Resident Man 2. Wait, no, Mega Evil.
Reza Hazard. And then we also have, oddly enough, the data for top publishers on the 3DS in 2021. Just to put this in perspective, the top publisher managed to sell 22,000 games, 22,000 units on the 3DS in Japan in 2021. The 3DS is dead. Can anyone who's not looking at the story guess who is number 1? Because it's not Nintendo.
Planet Pokemon or Pokemon Corp.
Good guess. They are number 4. It's actually
Call of
Square
Duty, bro.
Enix. No, it's not Activision. Square Enix took number 1. Nintendo took 2. Level 5 took 3, which has to be Yokai Watch. And number 4 is Pokemon Company, as we said. But yes, Nintendo came out on top for the year yet again. Shillelagh says Nintendo didn't just win. They trounced the competition. They earned more than the next 3 companies combined. And when you consider they make money from Pokemon Company and Bandai Namco, maybe it's even higher. Though you would think all of this is factored in. No. This helps them be number 1. Yes, so they are number 1 without any of that, as Shillelagh says. But when you factor that other stuff in, especially Pokemon Company, you see how dominant it is. Speaking of number 1s for Nintendo, and the last top story of today's podcast, the Super Nintendo Classic Edition is the UK's best-selling alternative console. So they're talking about, the standalone consoles that you plug into your TV that have games built into them, that kind of thing. The Super Nintendo Classic Edition is the UK's best-selling of those systems, and also the fastest-selling of those systems. In the UK, the NES Classic Edition is number 2 when it comes to best-selling, followed by the Sony PlayStation Classic, the Sega Mega Drive Mini, the Game & Watch Super Mario Bros., the Sega Mega Drive Flashback HD, the Namco 501 Stick TV game system, PlayStation TV, Namco's Miss Pac-Man Plug and Play, and then Steam Link. So we don't know the actual numbers, but we do know in the UK, there have been 150 of these different kinds of releases, and they have sold a combined 1.5 million units. So the Super Nintendo and the NES take up the lion's share of that. But we don't have the specific numbers.
Say lion. You're gonna say Lion Shovel. I don't
Line
know
Shovel,
why.
yep. Shillelagh says, from that list, I purchased the SNES and a few NES Classic minis. Also, I bought a couple of the Miss Pac-Man plug-and-play units, played mostly Miss Pac-Man. Now it's Pac-Mom, thank you.
Pack lady.
Didn't bother much with the other 4 games. Played it so much, the joystick broke. Yeah, those things don't last too long. That's it. That's your top stories, everybody.
Some good ones. We laughed. We cried.
We had
we
great
hurled.
conversations. We had lots in there. Deux, what have you been playing?
I played.
What have you been playing?
I played a game. Again, 2 weeks in a row. I think for me without Fortnite.
This is the second time for me.
Yeah, that seems like a long time. Well, we had a friend that plays with us that has been abroad, so
yes,
hopefully soon I'll get back.
We got
into
asked to play, but we were busy.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Busy.
Movie night. Movie night. I played Guardians of the Galaxy on the Xbox Series S.
Game Pass. I forgot. It's
via.
I
Games
remember
Pass.
now. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah,
now.
via Games Pass. I was gonna leave that out just because it's kind of. It stinks that I do that still, but whatever. You brought it up, so yeah, that's how I got it, and that's how I'm playing it. You know what? I was putting it off for so long. I think because I was not sure about the design. Like I'm so used to, and this is such a dumb reason to put it off, but I was so used to the MCU Guardians and how they looked and who they were and how they sounded. And I was kind of like, I'm not going to be able to get into, the same characters that look different and sound different. And you know what? It's a big part of the game so far is the interactions between the characters. And it's been really great. It's kind of, it's been pulling me through. The gameplay is also fun, luckily.
I say the voice actors in that game are good.
Oh yeah, I think
to tell you the truth, Star-Lord is good, but he's my least favorite. Everybody else, I think, does a better job.
Yeah, I think it's really, they're all really good, and it's really well done. A lot of the interactions happen while you're playing, and that just adds to the level of the
Ice Maker. It's okay.
Thank you. Yeah, it just adds to the enjoyment that I'm having with this game so far, and it's really it's well done. It's a lot of fun to play, and that's important when you're playing games.
Yes,
so,
it is.
So yeah, I look forward to keep on keeping on with that one. And the soundtrack so far is awesome. There's a lot of great songs, as you would expect with Guardians of the Galaxy, a lot of licensed music.
It's a great licensed soundtrack and a great original soundtrack. Like they do a great job both ways.
Yeah, it's great. And,
remember, that is on Switch, but only cloud version. So if you're looking for a native port, you got to go other systems.
Yeah, so that's what I played this week.
Good stuff. How many hours did you put in?
I only did the first mission.
Oh, okay. I'm very eager to hear more about it.
Yeah, but I like how at first I was a little daunted because they start showing you that you're going to play as Star-Lord, but you're going to tell your teammates kind of what to do, like that you can kind of. And I was like, this is going to be a little convoluted with the controls, but it's done very simply, and it's taught to you easily in the first mission. And
have you had one of the pep talk situations yet?
I don't know what you mean by
man,
pep talk
it's
situation.
great. So when you get into a fight, if it's going really bad,
oh yes, I've done that.
You'll have it like you're gonna lose. You have
huddle.
You have a chance to call in your team and huddle with them, and then they'll all voice your fears to you, they'll voice their fears to you, and you have to listen to what they're saying. And then you give them a pep talk and dialogue options come up. And if you pick the right things related to what they say, you give them a talk that boosts everybody's health and they get back out there and fight like crazy. It's such a cool idea.
It's a cool idea. It's, it took me out of the experience, to be honest, because
very cool.
We were like surrounded by enemies, and all of a sudden it takes you to like a literal huddle where they come and like the world stops and you just huddle up with the Guardians and they voice. So it works, but it also doesn't work because I like to nitpick. But it's fine.
There
it's
is
fun,
a suspension of
it.
disbelief as in the fight stops and they do the huddle. Yes. So.
It reminded me a little bit of in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you've got like there's a rhyming game where you go up to people and they like rhyme with you, and you have to listen to what they say and pick the appropriate rhyme that's gonna like it's kind of like a rap
Creed,
battle almost.
Mount my steed.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, you know, and that's one of the most historically accurate games that I can ever think of. But yeah, so I'm liking it so far. I'm looking forward to playing some more of Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's great. Nicky Hill, what have you been playing?
Let's go with Mom Brain first.
Oh, he's making me wait.
Yeah.
No, because she's got a lot to talk about,
No,
so
it's
you got to
okay.
go.
I'm gonna surprise you. Go.
Okay, Mom Brain, what are you playing?
Cat Cafe Manager.
She kept good on her word.
Yeah,
Of course I
remember.
did. Of course
I got
did.
her. What did I get you the code on Tuesday or Wednesday, and you jumped in and.
Is this
Yeah.
something we can?
Oh yeah,
you're
it's
here,
out now.
But do you have like your own review and everything on the Patreon or no?
Well,
This is-
No,
I
this
will-
will be a review for the site. This
Yeah.
has to be a regular review.
Yeah.
But she can
run out of
certainly
time though. She's
share
gonna go back to work
impressions.
now.
Yeah.
There's no embargo on this one. Like the game's out, so whenever she's got it.
Mm. Yeah. So
May the cats eat your eyes.
I am on day 49 of Cat Cafe Manager. And I will tell you that it is a delightful, relaxing, satisfying experience. I played last night for like long enough that like I looked up to look at something else and I was like, am I having a stroke? Because my eyes like lost focus on anything that wasn't a screen right in front of my face. So, you know, quite some time. Look, it's not necessarily like all about cats. So if you're not like a cat person, first of all, get out of my life. And second of all, you know, you don't have to worry about it being like all about cats. But if you are a cat person,
I love cats. I love every kind of cat.
it'll be satisfying, you know, because there's enough cat stuff. One of my favorite little details is that some of the chatter going on in the background of the
Chatter?
cafe is all you hear is pss, 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 which I love.
Nice.
Like, have you ever seen those bumper stickers that say "Tell your cat I say pss, pss, pss"?
Oh,
love
yes,
those.
she is Colma.
So you've inherited a cat cafe from your gran, and you've moved into a town called Caterwall
Oh,
to take over this cat cafe, and there is a mysterious cat shrine deep in the woods that has something to do with your reviving the cat cafe and thereby bringing fame and fortune to the town of Caterwall.
I like it. I like
I'm
lore.
listening.
You know, you're making orders for the people in the cafe.
Do cats
and
push the mugs of coffee off tables?
not in my cafe,
Oh.
That's the management you're catching.
yeah.
It's like burger time, but you're just catching cups.
The name of my cafe is The Biscuit Bonanza.
Mm.
I did name my first cat Glonky.
Yes.
So you're just, you know, running around managing the cafe, hiring staff, and then you're adopting cats out to forever homes.
That's nice.
But you're training the cats based on people's preferences for, you know, whoever's looking for cats. So I guess it's like kind of a little bit of a resource management thing that you're doing, you know. So overall, I have really enjoyed it. I find myself being like, oh, I want to pick up and play for a little while. You know, you don't have to play for long periods of time. I've been playing handheld. I haven't put it up on the big screen yet. It's relaxing. It's peaceful. It's fun. You know, it moves quickly enough to keep your attention, but not so quickly that you're just like, oh my God, like totally stressed out. So I so far I'm giving it, you know, a green light for people who are into a game like that, you know. I'm enjoying it.
Thank you, Mom Brain. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I look forward to your full review.
Am I supposed to talk about what I watched?
No, we'll do that in a minute
Got
because
it.
someone in the chat had a question actually that's related to that.
Oh.
Nicky Hill, what have you been playing?
I'm excited. So I haven't played anything this week.
Yeah,
won the bet, baby.
When you pushed it off to go to Mom Brain, I knew where we were going with this.
Why?
So. Because it was obvious. Because you want to delay the fact that you're going to joke about how you had something and then you didn't have anything.
You know what I did do though? I turned on my PS4 for the first time in like 2 or 3 years.
Did it update?
It did.
Nice.
Why was it not supposed to? Am I hacked?
It's a joke
now?
about how it needs to update all the time.
No, probably the first time in 2 years, and I said, no, I do not want to keep paying for the PlayStation Online service because I'm not playing anything, and it's $10 a month, and I put far too much money. By the way,
those free
guess
games
what?
he didn't download.
Guess what? Guess how much my
Games at no additional cost.
My
would make me say that.
my credit card bill for this last month was just for the gas alone that I used.
How
for gas.
much?
Gas.
All right, so gas is what? Let's say.
Just whatever. It was over $800.
Do we have to talk about this?
What the hell, man?
Well, you seem so bored, like you wanted to claw. You wanted the
I
rats
didn't play
to eat your
anything,
eyes
but
out.
guess how much money I spent on gas?
No, I'm just saying that because the amount of money that I spent on the PlayStation Online network that I haven't used, and so I could really use that money on my gas price.
Now you can.
And now you
I'm
can.
just in a hard place right now.
Well,
I'm spending.
thank you, Nicky Hill, for sharing what you didn't play. I appreciate it.
I mean, there's a lot that I've been thinking I want to play,
That's
but
great.
I just can't
That's
get
great.
to it.
Well,
Let's-
hopefully you get there at some point.
Let's
Let's
talk
let's make a wheel of all the games you want to play, and we'll spin it, and whatever comes up, you play.
That's actually a good idea.
There's not enough spaces on.
Can
that
I don't
wheel.
want to do this whole thing.
Wrong.
Yes or no?
No.
Okay, there we go.
What have you
Anyway.
been playing, RMC?
Oh,
We want to
thank
know
you.
that at least.
So I wanted to talk about a developer thing. I had a developer reach out to me about a
Developers,
game that I'm
developers.
going to be reviewing, and they said, I have one request with my game. Please play the whole game before you review it. And I was like, how sad is this that somebody has to say that? Because obviously, as we've talked about the last few weeks,
Well, they obviously
this
don't
is
know
the world
you.
we're in. Because you have to tell a game reviewer to play the full game before you review it. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about every week. This is ridiculous.
Hell yeah.
So I will be playing that full game and then give you the review. But I'm playing another game for review right now. What's it called? Dungeon
really good.
of Dread Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Dungeon of Dread. Yeah, Dungeon of Dread Rock. Dungeons of Dread Rock. I apologize. So it's imagine if there was an old school Zelda game and you only, so it's top down, and you only had dungeons with puzzles. There is combat, but I wouldn't really call it combat. So there's 100 floors in this dungeon, and each floor is a bite-sized puzzle. That's what this game is.
By the end, you're full.
So it's lots of Zelda-esque puzzles, but this is it's a dungeon crawler. So for those who haven't played those traditional dungeon crawlers, you move tile by tile. So imagine how you move in Crypt of the Necrodancer, or what the hell is that spinoff? The Zelda one.
Legend of the Necro. I don't know.
Yeah, I played it.
Triforce.
I played it a couple of times too.
Boy,
That's embarrassing.
out of the loop. What's that called? So Hyrule.
Cadence of Hyrule.
Cadence of Hyrule. Thank you, Television. Yeah, imagine that's how the movement is, except Cadence of Hyrule. No, I thank you to you too, but
You're welcome.
Thank you, do very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I also wanted to thank.
I just
him.
don't remember things often, so I like to get patted on the back.
This game, Dungeons of Dreadrock, is not music based. But that's how movement is. You move tile to tile. So it's puzzles, and you solve puzzles, and it's there's some interesting puzzles, but like 100 floors of just single room puzzles. I'm not going to say it's bad, because it's not bad, but it's not enjoyable as much as I wanted it to be. Also, it's obvious it was a very quick mobile port, because like the buttons that are on the screen are still for when you play in mobile. So if you're playing handheld, it makes sense. But when you play docked on TV, those buttons are still there, and you can't touch your TV screen.
Oh, that's annoying.
It's not. It doesn't ruin the game in any way, but it's just it makes
They didn't care.
They could have taken a little bit more time to take that stuff out. Also, which was a real shock because we're 5 years in with the Switch. This game does not support the Switch Pro controller. I went into it and my Switch Pro controller turned off, and I was like, "Oh my god, is it dead?" It is not dead. Yeah, this was a thing back in the first couple months of the Switch being out.
It's unbelievable.
I do want to say I reached out to the developer to make sure that it wasn't supported. They said, yes, it is not supported, but the game's first patch will add Pro controller support. I don't know when that patch is coming out, though. So, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal. You have Joy-Cons, you play with those. But it is something that's noteworthy today because I haven't seen it happen since the launch of the Switch.
I haven't seen it happen.
So yeah, there's some puzzles that involve multiple floors to solve them, and that's more interesting and that's fun. But there's also puzzles that the best way I can describe it is they feel like one of those extremely unfair adventure games back in the day, like point and click games, where solutions to some of the puzzles were so convoluted and made absolutely no sense and were things you would never try in a million years, that you just randomly happen upon a solution. So there's a couple of those, and I'm like, this is really stretching it, man. I got to the point where I'm literally just bumping into walls to try and find an answer for something. So that's not very fun.
Looking at you, Monkey Island.
But Monkey Island games are great, but they had some puzzles that were really not well thought out. So that's what's going on here. Like I said, it's not a bad game, but there's many better examples. I'll have my full review this week, definitely, because I'm on floor 70 something.
It sounds like the worst part of a Zelda game, like where they give you DLC, where it's like you fight this guy and you go into a hole, and then you fight this guy and you go into a hole, and then 100 holes later.
Like, at least in Zelda games, you are moving around doing the fighting. In this, because it's a dungeon crawler, you literally just bump into the enemy, and that's how you fight them. Like, you just walk into them and you bounce off of each other. There's no like hitting a button to attack. It's literally just walk into
Fascinating. No wonder it's not working with the Pro controller. You don't need the buttons.
So yeah, I'll have my full review. Disappointing. It's got a great look. It's got great pixel art. Oh, and another thing, there's no music. There's no music. There's a music. There's a main theme, which is good. And then there's a little jingle that is the same jingle every time you transition between levels. So you hear this song that's like 2-3 seconds long every time you go to a new floor. So I'll hear it hundreds of times. And that's all the music there is. Other than that, it's just like ambient dungeon noise.
What about this song?
Spicy, meet the ball!
And there's a narrator who reads stuff to you, and her voice is great. She's a great voice actor. I like that. But you'll read my full repinion in my review.
Do you want to hear my opinion on it?
So that's what I played Fortnite too, and Fortnite was great. I had a lot of fun in Fortnite.
Wow!
Boogie Bomb is back.
Love that Boogie Bomb.
I was using it on people last night. Boogie Bomb's great. Played Fortnite with family. Had a ton of fun. It's been a great time. Out there with mom, mixing it up.
Family. Stop.
So that's it. I played that. Yeah, Mom Brain. Now, someone specifically brought this up beforehand. I know we're getting long in this show, which is what people want. And I know, I get it. I complain when I listen to podcasts and they're like, we're going too long, because I'm like, no, I want more. I get it. I apologize, but I don't want to annoy people. So I do want you to talk about it because I made a promise to someone beforehand. You have watched something. You've completed watching something.
I 100%.
We could dedicate 5 or 10 minutes to it.
Oh, well, I don't even think I'll take that long. I began and finished Neon Genesis Evangelion. Thank you. And I watched the movie, which is like the final 2 episodes, correct? Is that how that, or however many episodes?
It's a alternate view of the final 2 episodes.
Yeah. So overall, like globally looking at my experience, I loved it. It was a lot to digest by the end.
A very complicated show.
Yeah. It's certainly not something I would recommend if you don't have someone to talk to about it, because I think that's like part of
that's what my cousin said.
Yeah, that's part of what I really liked about it. So full disclosure, I mean, quickly, if you don't know what it's about, it's basically
I'm excited to hear this.
It's basically like an alternate future where like
Can you do this without spoilers?
I think so.
Okay.
Where like bad stuff is happening, right, on Earth.
Doesn't sound like an alternate
Yeah.
future. It sounds like the future.
This is true. And there's a special group of people who are tasked with saving humanity, right? And it's like the story of like the relationships between those people and the actual like saving of humanity. And in the show, right, I don't like movies or shows about like war and military. Like that's really just not for me. And I don't really like a whole lot of fighting. And I know Ramit was like, but you like Marvel movies. I was like, yeah, but the fighting part I could like fast forward through. Like I don't care about that. It's a means to an end. And like, yeah, sometimes a cool thing happens, but really like fighting stuff is not my thing. And there was a lot of that in the show. And there was like a period of time in the middle of the show where I was like, oh my God, like this is just the same thing over and over again. But there was also stuff that was advancing the storyline. So I was like, okay, I'll hang in there. And then at the end, I was like,
she finished the series. Oh no, you finished the series and in real time sat there for like 2 minutes with your mouth open, just like,
yeah.
What? And then you looked at me and you're like, and then we, started talking about a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But
so there was there's a very like David Lynch feel to a lot of this, what happens, which I've obviously love. But I probably have said it before on the podcast. When I talk about like something that I've read or heard or watched, and I talk about like whether I liked it or not, or whether it was great or not, I usually use the like standard of, did it change my life? Like, did it change the way I see something? Did it add something to my life? Did it make me question something in my life? Like, for me, that's the mark of something that I'm going to be like, you should do this, because it wasn't just like, oh, it was fun, right? Like, there's plenty of things that like,
I don't know if I'd use fun to describe this.
Well, no, I'm not.
I know
I'm
what
just
you
saying
mean.
there's
I know what
plenty
you
of things where I'm like, it was really fun. And if you like this, you'll probably enjoy that. This is like, an investment in like taking a different look at things, and like it brought things to my, like, it made me think about a lot of things.
Yes.
And that is not something I want to do all the time, right? Like that is not, I like Cat Cafe Manager.
I hate thinking.
Yeah. But I definitely like thought, there's not enough time to really like cover it all, but so I will give you the like there's definitely, as a disclaimer, there's definitely sexual content that is uncomfortable.
So this whole show is filled with uncomfortable content.
There's a lot of discomfort, but there was also like a lot of stuff that I didn't realize until the show was over, that I was like, oh my God, like I like was talking to Ramit about it. I'm like, this character, blah, 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 that character, da, da, da. And I wasn't expecting
there
that.
is uncomfortable content out the wazoo, but the important thing to note is it
serves a
all
purpose.
Crucial.
It's
to
not
the
like
story.
shock value.
Yes. This
stuff.
is not like, let's just show this, that, or the other thing because why not? This is like breaking down characters and real life situations. Like, it's an uncomfortable show, and I tell everybody that. You're going to watch it, and there's multiple areas that will make you uncomfortable.
But here's the thing that I think is interesting. Before I watched it, Ramit was like, some of it's really hard to watch. And I'm like, okay, as in like the dog dies? And he's like, no, not like that. I was like, oh, okay. And as I was watching it, I was like...
The dog actually kills people.
No, I was like, oh, this isn't really uncomfortable. Like, where's the thing that's going to happen where I'm like, ew, like, holy cow, uncomfortable. And like, there's like one thing that really sticks out in my head as being like,
in the movie,
yeah, that's very uncomfortable, but everything else didn't occur to me that I was experiencing discomfort until I was done watching it all. Like,
it's not like that show, no matter who you talk to about it, you have to preface it and tell people it's going to make you uncomfortable. And
so it's like when you watch Fire Walk with Me, like I'm nauseous the entire time I watch that movie. The whole time that movie makes me nauseous. It wasn't like that for me, but like again, when I like took a step back and like looked at what I just experienced, there's some discomfort. And obviously I mean, as with any show, there's certain people I wouldn't be like, hey, you should watch this. It's great. Like, you know, so it takes a lot of attention. It takes a lot of like, you know, this isn't a game that you're going to like play on your phone or a show that you're going to play a game on your phone while you're watching, you know, and I also don't know that I would watch it with other people because
you don't want to talk during any, you don't.
Okay. Like, I think I would recommend watching it alone and then having somebody to talk to about it.
Everybody
who's not
that
gonna
has
spoil it
watched
for you.
it that I've talked to, because I saw it originally like decades ago. But the reason I rewatched it is because I heard Netflix bought it and did a whole new dub for it. Netflix paid an ungodly amount of money for it because anime is really big business for them, and like Neon Genesis Evangelion is the top of the mountain. So they put a lot of money into it. And I was like, I wonder how that turned out. Then my cousin randomly got in touch with me and he's like, I know you've watched anime. Have you heard of this? And I said, yeah. And he goes, I watched it and I need someone to talk to about it. And I'm never going to look at entertainment the same way. And I was like, I know exactly what you mean. I was like, I've been there. And I said, I'll rewatch it because I've forgotten a lot. And then I'll talk to you. And that's what I did.
You watched it in 1 week?
Well, I'm on spring break.
It's
so.
20.
No,
it's only
I'm
26 episodes, and each
I'm
one
not
is
saying
not.
it's just not.
It's 20 minutes.
Only 26 episodes.
Well,
But
it's
they're
like,
20
you know,
minutes long.
you can watch 6 episodes in 2 hours. So.
Yeah, I really, again, you got to be in the right headspace for it, I think. And
I don't think either of us can say this enough. Please do not story research, but content warning researches before you go into this if you are worried about things potentially upsetting you, because there's going to be a laundry list of them.
How do you do a search for content warnings without story?
You can just
type that
Neon
in.
Genesis Evangelion content warning or trigger warning, and you'll be fine.
Trigger warning is probably the way to go about it.
Like stressing, it is not for children at all in any way, shape, or form.
anyone who's
I'm not going to tell
like
you how to parent your
sensitive.
child, but it is not for children. This is not a cartoon for children.
It's
like
not,
you can watch
it's not
Attack
like
on
that
Titan
Squid
with
Game show.
You can watch Attack on Titan with kids, and like that's violent and everything.
Sorry,
but,
Squid Game, if you haven't seen it, is also not for kids.
And
but
like Demon Slayer has some cursing
So-
and lots of blood, but you know.
let
you
me
can do it
spare
with
you
kids.
now, right? So there's just a quick listing.
Don't even. I can't. I'll get demonetized for certain.
Okay.
Or I'll get in trouble for saying certain things.
Okay.
We can't. You'll have look into it. Everybody, you know, the majority of people who are listening to this podcast know about the show. Just
say
if,
once
if
more-
you're new to it, it is on Netflix.
my opinion, and I'm pretty sure everyone's opinion at this table, Squid Game is not for kids.
I would also agree that's not for kids, but Squid Game is for preschoolers compared to Neon Genesis Evangelion.
But it's all again
No, that's
not
an
for kids.
exaggeration.
I mean,
Did we watch the same show?
I guess I just look at it differently.
So most importantly, because we have to move on, scale of 1 to 10.
It was a 10. It was a 10.
Oh, wow.
But I did not, it wasn't a 10 the whole time I
You
watched
need
it.
the journey.
Yeah, like there
need
were
the
times
journey.
where I was like,
So there were times. So
Drake says, "Have you watched any nice anime?"
So you were not fully.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say you weren't really feeling?
She went from
it-
a 10.
Hold. Go ahead.
He's right.
What?
No.
You weren't really feeling it until like the end.
No.
Oh, thank you.
Like,
I didn't know I could throw my voice. That's kind of true. Yeah, I mean, it was enough for me to want to hang in, right? Like it was
You know,
interesting
like,
enough for me to like.
Because you've heard buzz or something, you know there's a payoff, and the payoff kind of keeps you held on.
I wasn't actually anticipating for the whole thing to be like this revolutionary thing in my head, and maybe that's part of why I was like a little bit, But now when I look at it as an entire experience, I can absolutely see that.
Because I just recently, or not recently, a couple months ago, whatever, was talking about like a book that I read, and it took me like 150 pages to get into the book to
Mhm.
get to like that twist. And I was talking to Nintendo. Is that even appropriate to call her Nintendo anymore?
She said she's claiming the
Okay.
name. I asked her.
And I think it was her, maybe it was you or Julie, like to sit through 100 and something pages of a book when you're feeling like I'm not feeling it, and then all of a sudden be like, wow, that was the best book that I read for the year. It's hard because like if a book doesn't grab you in the first chapter or two, you can't get into it.
What book was it?
Berenstain Bears.
Oh.
Oh, they were both bear related.
Yeah, I thought
Wow,
I really
he
thought that
did.
was amazing. What was the name of the book? Because
Beartown.
Okay, that's amazing that you said that. That's so
just
funny.
the humanity kind of stuff.
It's actually
in that. Really-
Berenstein
Did you read that?
Town.
No.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
But then or if a movie doesn't capture you in the first 5 minutes, you might not really
Well,
want to sit through
me,
it.
I mean, I'm not the.
No, but there's a lot of people who feel that way with content. Like if I'm not into it, if it doesn't grab me from the very beginning,
I was,
and there's definitely things that I'll watch where I'm not like super feeling it, but I'm like, you know what? I like either the actors in this series or the film, or I like the characters maybe that I'm kind of getting into with the book or something, or another book that was written by the same author of Beartown, Frederick Backman.
Frederick Behrman
is I just like almost
Fozzie
like
Behrman.
You're the only the
great
entire time you're
book.
going through it, you're just like, oh, this is ridiculous or something. And then there's this moment where it's like there was a purpose to everything, and you really appreciate all that stuff that, like for me in those situations, that all the things that I had problems with, I appreciate it. And so if that's the same way, like
jokes.
it just helps.
It's a great book by Fozzie Behrman called Waka Waka.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
You guys, Fozzie Behrman over here.
We're gonna have to
to
separate you two. You're gonna have to sit on
I
separate
wanted
sides
to bring
of the
this up
classroom.
because someone in the chat asked if I watch any anime lately, and I said I have not. Well, I said someone had something to talk about.
Yeah.
What I want to watch is the new season of Demon Slayer. It's done. I haven't watched it yet. Demon Slayer was awesome. I loved Demon Slayer. We'll talk about that more in the after show. We gotta go.
Can I
Yeah,
just
go
make one joke? This is a joke. You said that this show made you think a lot. Did it make you think about how stupid the name of the show is? Oh, swish!
It did not.
Oh, okay. Oh, well.
It did
goes
not.
with dynamite? Good to
And
know.
I will also.
It's just about a Sega Genesis that's all decked out in neon colors.
Oddly
right?
enough, Sega was involved with publishing the movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the movie starts with a Sega logo.
Well, I don't want to spoil it because there's
Yeah.
there was a part, like there's a character, a person, whatever, and that I was like, oh my god, that is my jam. And that's, I think, part of what helped me to really get sucked in. And if you've seen it, I'd be interested to know if you think
that's
you
the other
know who
thing.
I'm talking
so
about.
she stuck it out. Well, I don't want to say stuck it out. You went from like a 10 to an 8 to a 10 when it was over, but
I think I
your
actually went
number's
down to a
not mine.
7.
Oh, 10, 7, 10. But she doesn't like action. And I didn't realize to the extent she doesn't like action. We, I think, appreciate action. So the action in this is awesome. If you're just looking at it from an action standpoint, it's really cool. All right, we gotta go.
It's only one season, huh?
It was one and done. Yeah, there was like a story they had, like Do likes a story where it's like, this is where it is, this is where it ends, done.
Yeah, you make me want to watch it.
Well, now I turn to her. Like if there's something I really like and she watches it and she likes it, I'm like, you tell Do.
Yeah, I mean, I might give it a shot just because it seems like there's a beginning and an end.
I
They're
cannot-
not milking anything,
Yes,
and it's
they do
20-minute long episodes. That sounds right for me.
You didn't see the Pokemon Detective Pikachu, right? I can't believe that I'm the only person here who's seen it, and I've seen it twice.
My sister saw it too. She
She's
said it
not-
was
she's
also
not
very
here,
good.
is she?
We got questions. Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
They can be about Nintendo, they can be about video games in general, or whatever the F you want. This one comes from Willis, and it's well, never mind.
And it
If
says,
you were one
have
of
you ever watched Neon Genesis?
if you
Evangelion?
were one of Sonic's main pals, like Tails or Knuckles, what sort of animal would you be? What a great question.
Mhm,
Mom Brain would be a capybara.
Absolutely, I would.
Nice.
Carrie the capybara.
I would have like
Chrissy the capybara.
Coraline or
Coraline the
or,
capybara.
something lovely.
Any other animals to come to mind for you guys, real quick?
Wild boar.
Wild boar Bill.
I mean, I would love to
computer.
be a fox, but I think Tails already has that.
You know, there's other. Trying to think. Is
Honestly,
there
for me, like
Colma, you're a Sonic
who
guy.
Who I am as a person, sloth, probably. That's what I would go with. Oh, Sonic's the fast one. Yeah, go for it, buddy. I'm just gonna hang out here for a little while.
Is there any other
That's actually a
three-toed sloth? Yeah,
I can see that working with Sonic.
Colma, is there another fox in Sonic besides Tails? Tails Miles Prower. That's delightful.
It is great.
I don't know what animal. I love capybaras as well. But I'm trying to think of another animal I would be.
Is that capybara
that.
farting? I think it is.
Well, they probably fart.
I don't know. I can't think of another animal. I hate to steal mom brains, but I gotta go with it.
Really? We could be capybaras
It'd be
together.
a great animal to be.
It would. It
And
really
like to
would.
see it running. Like I want to see it run as it runs in real life. I don't want it standing up and walk running.
I also would be cool with the one capybara underwater.
Giraffe. Anastasia Beaver says a giraffe.
I think there's some good powers.
Seeing that sucker run, that guy can't fit through loops. They're too big.
No, but
It's
a giraffe.
a giraffe is the size of a loop,
no,
right?
But a giraffe,
its head would stay in the center.
Yeah.
Literally, and its legs would spread.
I would think a giraffe would run and
Like
then
twinkle toes?
like that could bite onto something and the body just like woo shoots it.
Giant Reggie
Like
says a really fat purple cat. Oh wait, hi Laxter.
You guys might not know this, but at least once a week, I approach Rummy Cowboy and I go, man, and he'll say, what? And I'll say, I was really hoping this morning I'd wake up and you'd be a capybara. Like pretty regularly.
The best
I
I
do
can
that.
give you is a naked man wrapped in Dew's body.
With your hand over your heart, like you're saying the pledge.
God bless America.
God bless America.
Oh man, there was a fox, Zooey the fox,
I
or
think it's probably Zoe.
Well, it's two O's. It's got to be Zooey. In Sonic Boom, there you go, another fox. So there could be a third fox. Why not? You'll have three tails, and your name will be.
Sure, why not?
Give me a fox joke. Come on.
Kit. You'd be Kit because that's a fox baby. Is a Kit.
Oh, okay. I like it. Foxy the fox.
Red.
Drake Gamer says Foxy the
You'd be
fox.
Red the fox.
That's pretty good. Thank you for the question, Willis. We have a Patreon question. Mom Brain, did you know that you can join the GoNintendo Patreon
For $1.
for $1? As Dylan says. Ooh. You can join and ask a question. I post about other stuff during the week.
Guaranteed.
How the Patreon makes you feel. Sure. Giant Reggie has this week's Patreon question. Hey, podcast crew, I've got a music question. You want to hear it?
Nice.
Oh. Are there any pieces of video game music that truly strike a chord with your soul, that elicit an emotional response that's more than a typical wave of nostalgia? For me, it's Dire Dire Docks from Super Mario 64. Listening to that song puts my mind in this solemn state like nothing else. I can't fully explain it. Well, you know I do, and I have a million of them. Song from a game that makes you feel. It doesn't make you feel nostalgic. It makes you feel. You feel it in your body.
Oh yeah, I've been getting that a lot lately.
A lot of the songs in Celeste for recent games, I'll say, do that for me, especially the one song that plays when you're literally finally climbing the top of the mountain, because it's an 11-minute song that grows and adds new instruments to it as you go up the portions of the mountain. And when you're at the top of the mountain and all the instruments are going, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. It's so good. That's a great, that one for Lube too. He loves that.
I love that one. Yeah.
I've said it before. The intro music for Twilight Princess. When you see Link and then he turns into Wolf Link, one of my favorite Zelda intros ever. And that song is people singing the main Zelda theme, but then it turns sullen at the end when you see Wolf Link. I'm giving myself goosebumps talking about this stuff. Man, do I love that. And I'll do it every few months where I watch that intro and I tear up and I'm like, still so good. Still got it.
I mean, yeah. Recently I said it. I'm sorry to bring it up, but playing Will o' the Wisps, there was multiple songs in that
great. Yeah.
Just like I'd be running around doing nothing and that song would play in a separate region or something and I would just start tearing up.
Yeah, like I said, in that game, particularly for me, is the mill song. Oh, so good. I just sat outside that place and listened to that song and cried. What a good song.
There's so many, like, that I could name them all day, like you, RMC. Yes, of course.
Malomart, the Malomart song.
Malomart, anything from Double Dragon 2, obviously. I mean, almost anything from Final Fantasy VII when I guess this isn't a spoiler, when Eris gets killed and you fight the Genova boss with her song. It's like the only boss fight that you don't fight with the boss fight song. That like sticks in my mind. There's another one like in Red Dead Redemption 2. There's a moment towards the end of the game where you have to ride your horse from one end of the map to the other, and they play this. It's an actual song. I think it's called Unshaken or something.
Rat Hat Ragtime.
It's I love rat hats, you know that. But at that moment in the story, in the game, and all that, when you're listening to that and you're riding the horse and you're kind of like going over what your character's been throughout the experience, is something. I guess it's like a cop out to use like real music, but like
but that makes you think of the game and that moment.
Any of that stuff in Last of Us 2 when they're playing the guitar, forget it. I turn into a blubbery mess.
Joel's song.
Joel's song, and then when Ellie plays the song later, I mean, forget it. I cry both times, and then when she tries to play it at the end, forget it. Forget it.
I want to go through the chat and recognize what they're saying too. Kyle says, as soon as I go to read it, the Dark World theme from Link to the Past. I remember hearing that as a kid when you first go over. So you're, you turn into Bunny Link, and you hear that song, and it's a whole flipped world. This is great. I keep giving myself goosebumps. You're standing there, and it's what is bum 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 bum. Bum, 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 and it just feels so epic, and it's so good. That's a great one.
I get that epic feeling from Golden Axe. Anytime I hear like the music, I'm like,
Dre Gamer says Maconis Field from Xenoblade Chronicles. That is those two games have stellar soundtracks, but that song in particular, that's a great one. What else we got here? Midnight's Lament, says Colma. Super Paper Mario and Undertale. You know, Undertale, I'm right there with you, Anastasia.
Minecraft music, anything from Minecraft I can play in my classroom as like background music all day.
Highland Tom says there's one peaceful theme for the American continent in Civilization 5 that is just amazing. Civ in general has fantastic music. The dragon theme from Breath of the Wild, says Anastasia. Zinya's battle theme in Pokemon, says 10th Division.
Any of the Animal Crossing music is lovely.
I could fill a whole podcast just about game music. Like there's a song in Chicory. There is a song that's so good in Chicory that I stopped doing the boss fight because I was tearing up too much to play it. It's a song that really exemplifies the importance of the battle and how like diminutive you are compared to what's going on, not just the fight, but everything in the game world in general. And it also makes you feel like a badass. It's unbelievable. And that's Lena Raine as well, the same Celeste composer. But yeah, I would love to delve into this topic more another time because there's so many moments. I'd love to make a list. But I get goosebumps and those feelings all the time from songs. And it's not nostalgia. It's a connection to a moment and to an experience. And it's one of my favorite parts about games.
I feel like we need to do a kind of like a reaction video. You know, like on TikTok, it's like 5 examples. And like if you laugh, you lose or something. Like if Raw Meat listens to these examples of music and doesn't cry,
you'll get me, man.
And cries,
I'll cry.
you lose.
I'm almost tearing up talking about this stuff. You'll get me. Like, and it's not just with game music too. It happens with like Marvel when we're watching Moon Knight. And in the latest episode, spoiler, where you hear the very sullen version of the Moon Knight theme when blank, and he's blanking in the blank.
I've seen the episode. I have no idea what
that song plays, and it's just one person singing the theme very slowly, and that made me tear up. I was like, "This is great."
You know what song gets Raw Meat every time?
Oh no! When I see that Tweagle soaring in, we're out of news.
Recently,
opportunity.
Recently, I was telling Deux I started watching Severance on Apple TV Plus. What are we guys saying? Oh,
no, it's fine for now. But thank you.
Oh, there's a chord there. Just the theme song from that show it hits me in all sorts of, like a complete spectrum of emotions just listening to that.
You want to know
messes
what
me
one
up.
hits me that's a
Eagerly.
theme song?
Kyle Lankwood just put eagerly in the Discord.
It's an odd one, but it does it for me. It's the song from this show I can't remember the name of. Hulu, Steve Martin Short.
Oh, murderers.
Yes. Nope.
Only murderers in
Only
the building.
Yes, I think it's because that song in particular is used thematically so much throughout the show that it just.
Yeah.
I think that's a great intro. I love it. Yeah, it's good. I mean, and we've talked about the Marvel intro as well. Like every time it gets me. I
Sinfield
can't help it.
66.
I sit in the theater and I hear it, and I know there's a good chance it's going to happen, and I can't help myself. I'm like, man, here we go.
Seeing it in the theater really does get you too.
Hi, Sinfield. Yeah, Game of Thrones, Sinfield. That theme song too. That's done it for me, and not to the same degree, but I like when I was getting caught, when I got all caught up and season 5 was going on, and like the new episodes would come on. I'd be like, yes, I'm excited. Let's go.
I sometimes like to imagine like back a few years, like as if timelines didn't split, and I'd be talking to you about like this new Marvel movie that came out, and you're like, yeah, I'm not really gonna take the time to go through all those.
That was what I said. Yeah.
No, but like to imagine that now, without you being like,
well, I was
crying in the
wrong.
movie theater before the movie starts.
You know how thankful I am for real? This whole thing's going to make me tear up that I got caught up with the movies to see Endgame in the theater. Like that was one of my favorite moments in my life. That crowd of people, friends and strangers, all so
Kids
focused
sitting on the
on what was
floor.
going on, cheering, crying, laughing, standing up, applauding. Like,
was I there for that?
No. You would remember. Even our friend Vitamin G, who was there, who is not an emotional man, came over after the movie and was like, that really did something to me. And I was like, I know, I was right there. Like, man, kids were sitting on the floor because seats were sold out. They were on the floor.
That's a
in
fire
the
hazard.
Front row
Yeah,
watching the movie.
That's a fire hazard. That's not something to celebrate.
What a memory.
That's dangerous.
I'm not celebrating it. I'm just saying I was in a seat.
That's
but
a
we were in the
wonderful
front row
moment.
as well. Oh man, what a
It was great.
fantastic memory.
It was great.
And one other one, since we're talking about theme songs of TV shows, I just listened to it today too, by the way. Gets me crying every time. The Band of Brothers theme song.
Yeah, I never
is
watched that show.
Excellent. And it gets you crying.
What a great question. What a great topic. Like I said, I would love to talk about that more, but we must move on to. We can't talk about music
there's
anymore.
more?
We
We
got to talk about music.
We
There's
should
more to
do
talk
a
about?
whole-
I got music. About
want to hear it?
yes.
You want to hear it?
Music podcast.
Is that what I sound like?
Send your music to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where do we send our music?
goninpod@gmail.com. Please put music in the title. We are getting a lot of music submissions. I really appreciate it, but the music show or the music portion can only go on if you send more music. So we need all you got, but we got a lot in there so far. So thank you. I appreciate it. Mom Brain. Let's I know people keep saying 6, so we can do 6 out of the 9 joke, but out of the 9. But we can still do the joke because the number didn't make sense anyway. So I would like 5.
Okay.
please. I just want to get more built up in there before
This
we really
one comes
start
from
ripping on it.
our friend Blood Ocean 07, who says, "So happy y'all are back and alive and well. I've really missed everyone and so glad to hear Raw Meat's great laugh again. The show really brings me joy every weekend.
Now you're going to make me cry for a different reason.
Hopes to stump Raw Meat Cowboy, but we'll see.
Never. It's never happened.
It's not going to happen.
All right. It's GoldenEye or Perfect Dark. It's not.
Oh, well, which one is it?
Perfect Dark?
I think it's GoldenEye.
It's GoldenEye now.
Yeah, it's GoldenEye.
You're right. It is GoldenEye.
That's quintessential rare on the 64. He said hoping to stump me because it's a joke.
Blood Ocean 07, that was GoldenEye. This next song comes from Jet Jaguar, who
Oh my
says,
God, focus all
amazing to hear
attacks.
from you all again.
This is great. This whole last part of the show is making me sad in a great way. What system? This could be really good Super Nintendo, or it could be now.
I think it's Super Nintendo.
Really good Super Nintendo. So many companies did really good music on Super Nintendo, but something about this. See, if it's first party, I don't know it. Is this first party?
No.
Okay. Feel better. It's a short loop. Sounds like a nice game. Is this like a menu or a shop?
I
or
believe
something?
it's like the
Title screen.
Yeah.
Okay. It could be like a sports game,
I don't think
leisure
so.
game,
No.
Harvest Moon.
No.
Oh, this is very opposite of what I'm going for. Do I know this game?
Yeah. Oh, it's 64. I'm sorry.
Oh, so it's okay. Good 64, but 64 wasn't all that great.
Want me to give you a developer?
Okay, no. Okay, it's good music on a 64. That should narrow it down. Snowboard Kids.
No.
Bomberman.
No.
Oh man, now I'm running, and it's not first party.
That's correct.
It's gonna be one I'm forgetting. Go ahead.
Mystical Ninja starring Goemon.
Son of a bitch.
Whoa. So that was from Jet
Mystical
Jaguar.
Ninja has good music. It was just a 64 one. I don't listen to that.
Lost
soundtrack
those
a lot.
goosebumps, did you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. I should have got it. I should have got
Got
it.
crying for a different reason now.
I rented that once and I liked it, but I don't remember the music. I'm going to listen to that soundtrack this week. We miss you, Goemon. I'm sorry. We miss you, Kid Ying and Dr. Yang.
Oh, I certainly do. I need to
I
hook up
listened
my
to
Wii.
music soundtrack this week while I was driving.
I listen to music soundtrack.
I'm sorry, video games. A video game soundtrack. Whatever.
Fragile Queen Dreams.
This one comes from Mikey3319.
What was it? All right, it's GBA.
It is.
It's not
Electro
Mega Man
Plank.
vibes, but it's not Mega Man.
It's not Mega Man.
Sometimes that crappy GBA quality can sound pretty good. Is this first party?
No.
Man, what is this? I'm really digging it. Is this a Castlevania?
It's not.
Okay.
Was that game Bok Choy?
Yeah, I was going to say Bok Tai. I really was.
It's not Bok.
Bok Choy, yeah. The food is in your hand. Franchise?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a big franchise. It's not first party. That sounds like it. That sounds like indie games. Is this Capcom? I'm so lost. Is it Konami?
No.
Is it Square?
Nope.
Great. I don't know. Go ahead. This is going to make me even more upset. This really sounds like an indie create game.
It is Sonic Advance.
Oh, I wonder who did. I swear to God.
All right. So that was Mikey3319. It was Sonic Advance. This song comes from Turner.
Where's Hooch?
Ooh. Used to submit music weekly
Hooch
nearly a
is long
decade
dead.
ago. Only felt right to start mailing in again with the return of GoNintendo. Thanks to you, Rami Cowboy Mom Brain, Josh Grobot, and all the rest of you jokers for everything you do for the community.
No. Thank you. We're happy to be here. I know this. Why do I know this? Is this what's this? Switch?
Yeah.
Is this some weeaboo stuff?
No.
It kind of is, though. It's a first party.
I don't.
Is it Xenoblade?
No.
Oh. Okay. It's kind of weeaboo.
It could very well be, but it's not. Like, it's not. could be like tongue in cheek
No More Heroes.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's
No More
how it
Heroes.
is. We
What,
threw it
No
away.
Heroes
That's-
3?
Yeah.
Weeaboo.
No More Heroes 3. Yeah. That was from Turner, and it was No
That's
More Heroes
funny.
3 on
That's
the
funny.
Switch.
It had the. He's got to stand up for his. The man walked 12,000 steps today.
Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah. Do you? Well, I have stuff that you can. Roll
Yeah, we'll
your
rub
legs
them
out
down.
with. Yeah.
We're gonna rub them down.
Rub me down.
The last song comes.
Couldn't be doing any of this if the TV was there.
From Ask Me.
Don't mind me.
Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
Well, at least I got one. Let's see which version of the song this is, because I hope it's from Killer Cuts. Oh yes. So we're gonna have some great bad lyrics. This is so. Oh no, this one doesn't have lyrics. This
Well, it
just has
says
the-
Killer Cuts music CD included inside.
Yeah. So it's the Super Nintendo version of Killer Instinct. This song is so good, and this is the Super Nintendo version of it, so it sounds crappier. Me and Lube, we used to listen to this CD all the time. Why did Lube buy Killer Instinct? Oh, he loved it. I think because it had a skeleton. Lube loves skeletons, and this had a skeleton character. I really think that's it. I'm going to have to ask him. Listen to this guitar. That's a real guitar in the arcade game, and that's what it is on Super Nintendo.
I was going to say, when's the guitar coming?
A violin.
I used to hear when I was in the arcade and this song would come on, I'd be like, I am ready to kill someone. I killed someone. That's what I'm trying to say. Thanks, Mom Brain. What do we get? 6 out of 9?
Video games
6 out of 9, absolutely.
I think we got 2 out of 6 or 3 out of 6 or 3 out of 5. 1 out of 5? That's not right.
Numbers.
You're getting some comments on. Johnny Reggie says, "Rub dude down with his towel."
Yeah. No way. The towel still hasn't been washed, people. So don't you dare get
It's
near
not
me
a
with
towel
that.
anymore. It's just art. It's a mural. And we
Art
got some
is subjective.
We got some what do you call it? 3D going on in the
Oh,
chat.
nice.
All right. Well, this show is now officially 3 hours long. Will you like to take us out with a rumor?
Dues views. It's never news, except when it is, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
my
So
God.
if you remember the true rumor from a couple of weeks ago, where I said that I was chosen by Niantic as the greatest Pikmin bloom walker that ever walked the blooms. Well, it came through, baby. Look what I got here. I've got a wooden wallet. It's kind of like 2 pieces of wood and a little stretchy piece that goes around the middle. You can put your cards and your monies inside.
How much does something like that cost? Surely it's got to be $1,000.
Tons and tons of money, but if you look it up on iProof's website, it's $15.
So you got, and how many players got that? What is it, like 10,000 or
You
something?
know,
like
I
that?
wish I looked up the original email because it's a very limited.
It was like
group.
Maybe it was 1,000. Maybe I'm running.
It's a
remembering it wrong.
ridiculous. Let's just put it this way: it's just my luck to never win anything in my life, and when I do, it's like 2 pieces of like mulch. But it does say Niantic on it, which is the company that makes the app.
Anastasia Beaver hasn't says 2 pieces of wood and a stretchy piece sounds like a lot of fun.
It can be fun, actually. Anastasia, I'll sell it to you for $20. But no, it was nice to finally get something, and Deux is finally coming out on top, ladies and gentlemen.
Congratulations! You earned it. You went out there, you got your badge on Community Day, and you were one of the lucky few selected to get that.
Yeah, it feels good.
That is like something I used to make with like my wood burning kit back in the day.
That's cool that you.
I'm
didn't
sorry.
even know you used to.
I'm
do
sorry.
that.
You had a wood burning
I
kit?
did, and I used it a lot, a lot. Yes, and I would just freehand stuff, or I would do stencils.
Where do we ever ever see this stuff?
I'm a worldly
why-
man. Why didn't you see? Maybe my parents still have some of it.
I would imagine that a lot of it was probably featured in the old warehouse, and we just didn't.
I
It was
vividly
so
remember getting it
professional,
as a
didn't
kid
know.
because I was like, I didn't know this was a thing. I have no interest in this, but I'll give it a try. And then it was fun. It was fun.
You
and
just
that's it.
you like burning things.
That's I used to stick it on myself.
I like burning.
So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening for this supersized show. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
That's exactly it.
everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
So there's somebody.
We'll do a
on-
little after show.
Someone on eBay is looking to sell that thing for 99 cents.
That's $6 in shipping.
I like this guy from Red Souza in the chat. The guy on the book identifying
Turd
wood.
wood.
Yep, it's wood.
And he spelled turd right.
What did I say we talk about afterwards? Music or anime? Oh, Demon Slayer. Yeah, did I love the first season of Demon Slayer. My only complaint is I never remember characters' names in anything, so I apologize. But it's the Wiener kid that's with, the two main guys. There's the trio, and there's the kid that's afraid of everything, and he's a wiener. I know there's anime. I know there's plenty of anime, and I've seen plenty of anime where a character yells all the time, but this guy really yells all the time. I can watch anime, and if there's a character like that, I can handle it. But this guy was so much that it grated on me, and I was like, this guy never stops doing that. But the show is awesome, and the story is awesome. I love it. But I only watched Demon Slayer. I only watched the first season. I did watch the movie, and the movie was amazing. The movie is exactly what I wanted from a Demon Slayer movie. It was really good. And I know the second season is done, and I know the third season's already being teased, so I got to get on that. What is it on? Crunchyroll? I have a subscription to Crunchyroll, or Funimation, whatever. But I got to watch it. Man, did I like that first season. Colma says that Dreadrock game is weird. It definitely feels of mobile quality playing it on Chromebook using arrow keys. Tentavision says the character's name is Zenitsu, probably, and he says I hate him. Yeah, he's boy is he annoying. But the show is great. Character's great. I love the motivation of the main character. I love what he's trying to do. I love the fights. I love the storyline. Really cool. One of the best anime I've seen in a while. But it is it's mass consumption anime. It's not like a Neon Genesis Evangelion. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love that kind of anime too. I'm just saying
Not that there's
more of
anything wrong
an
with
entry point to anime. And if you're going lower than that, your entry point to anime, the best entry point to anime, I would say, is Death Note.
For sure.
It is anime in creation, and it has maybe one or two moments in the whole series that are like very quick anime tropish kind of things. But by and large, it's just a regular
Yeah,
show.
I can see that. Not that I know anything about anime, but I have seen Death Note
And Golgo.
and Golgo. Have
The
you-
Professional.
See, yeah, I've seen more like animated
There he is.
movies. Do they still call those anime?
Yes.
Like
No,
you-
they don't. Anime is in Japan. This is the sad thing. When people say anime, and this isn't, I'm not
No,
knocking
but I
you at
think
all.
Andrew means when it's an anime.
Like Ninja Scroll,
Movie.
for instance.
That's anime, yeah.
But that's a movie.
Yeah, it's still,
Right.
it's just a movie.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
it's
think he
anime.
means like, a Disney movie is called anime.
Oh,
I
that's
think-
how I was taking it.
Oh.
Yes, Ninja
Oh,
Scroll
I'm
is
not
still
that
an anime.
stupid, man. Come on. Like, you know that.
But the anime is so popular right now, and anime is so big right now, bigger than it's ever been, and it's more widely accepted than ever. But the older, and pardon my forwardness here, the older stupid people still think animation is for kids, and like they look. It just annoys me. Like the whole Oscars thing, man. Well, I know everybody's
Who
annoyed about the Oscars for a million.
cares? Who cares what the Oscars think?
What
and
do you-
who
because
cares
the
what anybody
guys-
else thinks?
because the
you
guys-
like it, you watch it, enjoy
But
it.
the problem with that is I have no issue with me liking and enjoying something. But when the people higher up with the money don't understand anything, that blocks more of what I like from getting made.
Yeah, but well, that's true. I was gonna
But it
I was
shifts
gonna
with
say
time.
Marvel is ruining the cinema business, but we like Marvel movies, so it's gonna happen.
And it's not like Marvel movies being in cinema and being successful isn't ruining movie success. It's just, especially nowadays, people are more reluctant to go out to theaters because A, the pandemic, B, Batman's already at home. Like these things come out of theaters very quickly and are on streaming services.
Yeah, if they don't do it like super quick. I think the regular time they said is like 45 days or something, which is only just over a month and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts.
Do you want to take a guess at what I was listening to during my commute the other day?
Game soundtrack. I guessed.
Mirror's Edge.
Fragile Cream Dreams.
No. No, it's not Solitaire.
Beyond Good and Evil.
No.
It's a game, and he likes the music.
And I actually listened to the whole thing, and the whole soundtrack was great.
Can we hear a system? No, I take that back. Can you sing one of the songs?
I was just gonna play it.
No.
Yeah, sure. Let me think.
Oh, I'm excited. This is an after show.
I mean, you're gonna get it right away.
Shenmue.
And I'm not gonna sing from the beginning. I'm just gonna get into like where it really picks
Here
up.
goes.
Do 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 do.
Oh yeah, why do I know that?
Boom 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 boom.
Hold on.
I mean, all different parts of the song.
Yeah, I know. I know the song.
Have I played this?
It's like harpsichordy or something. I don't know if he plays DS. I don't see how.
Most likely not. I didn't play too much in the DS.
Oh, Professor Layton.
Yeah.
Oh, I have played one of them, Curious Village.
Violin. What am I saying? So good.
Yes, right, Sinfield? I thought his song sounded Spanish as well.
Yeah.
I thought Spanish. Next week, says Laxter, Nicky Hill sings all the music.
I like it.
There we go.
Yeah, this is good stuff here.
I mean, that sounds Spanish, kind of.
If you're into Spanish kind of music, I recommend the Tropico 5 soundtrack.
It's a great one.
Holy cow!
Also,
Your butthole will
Guacamole.
explode.
Sinfield says, I thought I was going to get the maracas out. All right, guys, it's been a supersized show. It's been a supersized amount of fun, and it's been super great having you here with me.
I'll take the great.
There it is. Thanks for sticking with us. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and we will catch you in 7 days' time. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Everybody have a great week. Be good to yourself. Be good to everybody.
Take care of yourself
Take care of yourself.
and each other. In the lovely